All right. Ding, ding, ding. The votes are in. What grade did Hasbro earn in 2025? You are watching the Infinite Shelf Life stream. I'm Infinity Wartorn, and I am joined by Falcon
Hello.
and Joestar.
That's me.
All
T-pose. I wanted to do a little funny.
right. But yeah, so I know not everyone uses Instagram too much, but the head of Marvel and Star Wars for Hasbro put up a little bit of like a impromptu survey on there asking, hey, like, what are we doing well with our brands right now? And they made a little bit of a report card, so we're going to go over that. But before that, we're going to go over a little bit of toy news and the Star Wars stream that happened today. But before we start that, how about we do pickups?
Okay.
Yeah,
Joe,
you first.
wanna go
Falcon.
first? Oh, I go
you
first?
You first.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of ordering something.
Okay. Live toy purchases are happening, folks. Real quick, I'll just mention this isn't the main thing I wanted to talk about, but I finally got Black Series K2SO. This is the Andor version, and then it ended up being a package deal with the Andor from that same wave. Yeah, I didn't have a K2 yet. And this honestly seemed like the best one they had released so far. So I'm pretty complete on, or at least I feel pretty complete on like having a Andor/Rogue One crew. I don't have everyone, but I have everyone I want from that they've made so far. I'm surprised I didn't already have a K2 because I love Alan Tudyk. But yeah, it was I was holding out trying to find him at Ross. I wasn't able to, but I got a package deal for a pretty good price on eBay. And then I might use this Andor. It's not my favorite look for him. I like the season 1 episode 1 look. So I might end up using this body to do just do a head swap eventually and get like a custom Talon card head. I think that would be pretty cool. But the main thing I want to talk about, also Star Wars related. I recently picked up none other than SHF Book of Boba Fett. Boba
Fett. That looks sick.
Yeah. When mid key, like this is probably my favorite look for Boba Fett. I really like the contrast with the black bodysuit and then the green armor and then the red bits as well. I really like that contrast, and so I was for the longest time waiting for Hasbro to finally make this look for him. And they did it in the first wave of this year. Had it on pre-order. It looked, from the preview images and stuff, it looked fine for Black Series Hasbro figure. But then people started getting it in hand, and all the issues and all the problems that people were talking about with it. I was just like, you know what? I don't want to spend $28 now, basically $30 after tax on that, to be disappointed with that. And then, I would eventually like to have gotten a throne with that. And so now I'm, going on eBay or Etsy, spending probably $50+ on a throne. And I'm like, screw that. I'm just going to get the SHF. It's not perfect. I think the main thing is that the helmet is a little undersized. And you got to watch out for the cables on the right arm, but you have to do that on a lot of Mando figures. But yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna get this and be extremely happy with my purchase. Lots of great paint detail on it. The throne is awesome. And yeah, I love it. And it's like low key keeps the Star Wars vignette purchases going.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. And if you can snag it for like retail or less, I definitely recommend it.
Oh man, now you gotta have a Tatooine shelf.
I won't go quite that crazy, but I do have a Fennec Shand that once I get him up on the shelf, I'll
Ooh,
definitely have to figure out how to get her on the side of the throne.
heck yeah. Oh man, that'll be so sick.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, mine's not as cool because I got it before New Year's. Well, I walked into Target and so happened did I find X-Men 97 Wolverine. And I was like,
Nice.
Oh,
wow, that's really solid.
yeah.
And then I also saw a Mystique and I picked that up too, but I haven't opened that up yet. But this today was the day I opened this up because I just wanted to play with it. And so far it is one of the coolest Wolverine figures. Like it has like all the things I would think of with Wolverine, but there's only one thing missing, and it's just a like an angry, like snarling kind of
Oh, okay.
head sculpt.
Yeah.
And that's not a big deal because eventually I'll have like enough Wolverines to like just make that head swap.
Yeah.
So so I'm getting there. I mean, this is really cool. Just the addition of the cowl being down is like really awesome, and it just has like that build, you know, that build of Wolverine just being short and like fucking ripped.
That yeah.
Absolutely ripped and tiny. But yeah, it's awesome. Can't wait to put him on the shelf with the other ones. And like this is exactly how I would see Wolverine in my head. So like this is so sick.
You
Yeah.
must have caught the restock then, I think, right? Didn't that get
I think
restocked?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like literally I saw this and then also I saw the Gamerverse Venom and Cap. So I was like, "Oh!" I
Oh,
picked one
nice.
up, and then literally after the day I picked up all this stuff, I went back and saw like it's all gone. I'm like, "Whoa!"
Nice.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I managed to
there.
grab one.
Yeah, there's also an increased amount of traffic because there are just like droves of Psylocke Thanos sets hitting targets now.
Mm,
Yeah, that's
that's true.
crazy. Like it's making me think about buying another one, another 2-pack just to make like a custom Thanos and like X-Force Psylocke out of that. I'm like, that's a lot of painting.
Well,
I
we'll
still
get
have
to it later, but there is a Psylocke on the leak list for the year.
Ooh. Heck yeah. All right. Well, that was my pickup for the week.
Yeah, nothing for me yet, but I did order the Colossus and Kitty set.
Ooh.
And if you watch my short, you'll see that I'm doing a little bit of a budgeting challenge for myself, seeing if I can actually get through a whole year of toy purchases just on the power of cash back alone.
Oh man, that's gonna be an exciting journey for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I, uh, like I said in the short, like I feel like I'm not gonna buy a lot this year. But I also said that last year, and last year was the most I've ever bought in a
same.
year. So who knows? That
Right.
it will be funny when like the first Marvel Legends stream hits, and it's just like, damn it, I have to buy 90% of what they just showed.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not doing a stream this month.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
man.
I think last year it was weird that they did both a stream in January and a stream in February. I
Mm.
think that is I think that was just like an odd year out that they did both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, I think they still have some. I think they still have some quarter 1 stuff that hasn't been announced yet. So
yeah, I looked back at like I made like a stream schedule at the beginning of like last year, and
oh yeah, yeah.
I did have that there like I did have a slot for January of covering a Marvel Legends stream. So I did definitely anticipate one happening. So hey, honestly, I feel bad, but selfishly for me, I'm okay with them not having a stream because that means potentially less stuff for me to buy.
Right.
That's facts. I feel that.
All right. But speaking of things that people want to buy, I'm sure Falcon is very excited to tell us about
Oh.
Oh,
these.
man.
Yeah, I'll go over this just real quick. Yeah, so UPF, formerly known as LPZZ, they're doing they're starting to do more comic stuff in addition to their Arkham figures. So they're starting their Hush line with Batman Hush here to finally stick it to Mafex, um, who are dragging their feet finishing making Hush figures, and so it'd be funny if
Got
UPF
'em.
comes in and makes half their line before Mafex even finishes theirs after like a decade. um, but yeah, like should be going up for pre-order soon. And then we also have the Batman Beyond suit as depicted in Batman Arkham Knight, um, which I am definitely tempted by because I would love to have a Batman Beyond figure. But if they're going to be making, if UPF is going to be making alt suits from the Batman games, I would rather just wait to see if they do Batman Beyond from Arkham City, which is more closer than
Ooh.
it basically that skin just basically looks like the very beginning of Batman Beyond when Bruce Wayne was wearing the suit. That's basically what it looks like in Arkham City. Um, but yeah, these should be going up for pre-order soon. I believe the question mark on the images is because they haven't finalized the accessories. Um, but this, I guess that they're laid out to give you an idea of what it may or may not come with.
Yeah, because
Ooh, okay.
yeah, you mentioned that the obviously in the graphic doesn't show like the flight wings for the Beyond suit. So
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that at one point they showed a prototype with them with the wings. So yeah, I don't know if maybe they got ditched because they didn't get them to work how they wanted, or yeah, or they just weren't ready for the photo shoot or something. Um, yeah, we don't know the full price yet. There are some import sites that'll take a deposit for you already on these, but yeah, something to
Damn.
keep an eye out on if you're interested.
yep.
Yeah, when I saw you post this in the Discord, follow our Discord by the way.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
was
when they go up for pre-order, I'll put on the more legit sites. I'll post links.
yeah, I was like, oh boy, this is I shouldn't look at these.
Yes,
Like I really shouldn't look at
I'm
these.
also I'm also just like, you know what? This isn't my ideal Batman Beyond suit, so I'm like restraint. These are imports. I can't be buying all of them.
Right. If they do a Frank Miller Dark Knight, I'm like, I'm taking it. I gotta. Oh man.
I I say it every time, but it's figures like these that make me glad I'm not like a super big Batman guy because woof the they look great. They look great.
They
And
do.
they're not cheap either. But you know, I don't expect them to be cheap considering how nice they are.
Man.
All right.
So nice.
Uh, but yeah. So again, join Discord and you can be up to date whenever these links go up, especially from reputable sites and just in general, anytime stuff goes up. Uh, Being in a collector community or following folks like Paternia is always going to be your best bet with being able to get the best deals and knowing when things go up because uh, boy do I see a lot of like, hey, when is this when X thing is going to go up on things like Reddit, when I feel like it's actually like pretty easy to find out like when they do
Well,
go
and
up.
actually on these one like on UPF stuff, and art to a degree as well. Like the distribution isn't super wide yet for these brands because they're just getting started out. So I think I want to say Big Bad had in art Christian Bale Batman and maybe Catwoman, but like nothing else, and they don't carry UPF. So it's and like I want to say Ami Ami and HLJ don't either. So you have to go to like secondary tier, I guess I would call them, and maybe even tertiary tier import sites to be able to find these figures right now. So it's definitely a little bit of a game of cat and mouse trying to find pre-orders for these and finding stock for them.
Yeah,
Man.
that's true. Yeah, did they? Is there any particular reason for the name change?
My understanding is it was a trademark thing because I don't know if it was just being able to trademark the name in the West or what, but I just generally my understanding was that they couldn't trademark LPZZ
Oh,
somewhere,
okay,
and so that's why they changed it to UPF.
okay, that's
It's not like one of those things where the knockoff company keeps changing their name in order to dodge. These are like officially licensed figures, so
Oh,
okay.
that's
word.
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
That's even better.
No, yeah, yeah. There's
I
like
wasn't gonna
on
yeah I wasn't gonna
on the
say it,
box
but
there's
I was
like a
just like,
DC logo and everything. So these are totally above board, first party imports or however you want to categorize them. So
oh,
they're
okay,
totally
cool.
legit. I think it was just like a company trademarking thing.
All right, cool. Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong, so I'm glad I
No,
didn't
no,
say
yeah,
it.
no. I know that the knockoffs they changed their name and like their store name on AliExpress and whatever in order to like every 12 months or whatever to dodge legality things, but no, these are super legit.
Okay, awesome.
I wouldn't be paying as much as I am if they weren't legit first party releases.
All right. And speaking of things that uh, are changing and changing heavily, this is that by this point like pretty old news, but it's big enough that we definitely need to talk about it. But Playmates is not going to retain the TMNT license, and they've held the toy license for them since the beginning. So this is a lot of people are like, this is the end of an era. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's like bigger than that because it's
It might
literally
be end of the company.
yeah, that
Dang,
too.
yeah.
That too. Yeah, this year is going to be the last year Playmates has TMNT, and the last year that the Todd father will have DC. So next year is like a
Good.
really big. It's going to be a really big shift for toys next year, which is kind of wild. And obviously, the speculation is rampant for who, if anyone, will get the master toy license for TMNT. We already know that for DC it's going to Mattel, which kind of tramples on what I had said earlier in the Discord that I can see TMNT going to Mattel, but if Mattel's going to have DC, I don't think they would double or at this point like quadruple up on like boys brands because they're pretty like
Mhm.
dominant there. I like TMNT at that point would just be like superfluous.
Right.
But even though like
I feel like Mattel might pull something. I feel like they might just to have that supremacy in the toy business.
that's
Well,
true too.
even just beyond so the alleged reason behind this is because Paramount Skydance, the current owners of TMNT brand, apparently increasingly with their brands are massively increasing the royalty rates to be able to license out these brands to toy companies. So there was a bit of scuttlebutt around Star Trek licensed items. My understanding is Nacelle, who just started their 6-inch figure line, they put out a statement saying they still have the license, but there was a lot of scuttlebutt around like the prop makers and other toy makers with the Star Trek stuff. So presumably people are assuming that this is along the same lines where uh Paramount wanted to jack up the rates on the license and Playmates was like, nah, we're good. Or
So
it
I'm out.
probably ate, yeah, it probably was probably not. That's not what they said. It was probably just enough too high of a rate that it ate into the margins and it made the business like not feasible anymore, because
Mm.
I would be not very shocked if the current owners of Paramount do not understand how the toy industry works, because they don't
Yeah.
understand how their own industry works. But
Right.
that's too much of a rabbit hole. Um, yeah, so if that is indeed true, that Paramount is asking for a higher rate for to license these brands, it's if that is true, then only the big dogs like a Hasbro or a Mattel will be able to afford the TMNT license.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Paramount, like, and it's not like Paramount doesn't want TMNT. Like the whole thing this past SDCC is that they've changed they've changed how the TMNT license is even structured to
That's
be like
true. Yeah, yeah.
that's more encompassing. That's also a very interesting thing. Now that I say it, it might be one of those things where, like, granted, they had the toy license in regards to
Mm.
TMNT, but they also very much focused on the like super nostalgia era for TMNT, i.e., the original run. So
Yeah.
maybe with a increased focus on like including like the TMNT verse, i.e., like 2003, 2012 Rise, that like they saw it as like you've basically only been paying for like the 80s and we want you to pay
Mm.
for everything else. So
Yeah, I guess, yeah, devil's advocate on Paramount's behalf. That does make sense because they had like the toy, like maybe not license, but like distribution cut, like of like where you can find different eras of TMNT figures, are like all with a different company. And I'm not deep enough I like TMNT, but I'm not deep enough to follow it. I never know who's making what figure for TMNT because it's always someone different. So I can see from their perspective wanting to have to consolidate who their toy partner is, just to make things more cohesive.
yeah, uh, and like I said, it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, it sucks that this could very much like end Playmates as a toy company. Um, and on top of that, there's like the historical aspect of them. They've been there since the beginning, but at the same time, when you look at what other toy companies are doing with the TMNT license, even even as much as we kind of clown on McFarlane, like even their TMNT stuff is like pretty decent. Uh, Obviously, like there's NECA, Super 7, and like there's also like all the import companies that are doing TMNT stuff, like Mondo's TMNT stuff. Like all those are very like impressive offerings, and like Playmates has very much been, you know, nostalgia and kid focus, which is fine, but on some level that's a market that is increasingly like not doing as hot. Like
Right.
just kids are not playing with toys as much, even with uh this era of TMNT. Like all the I think the toys are really great. My kids have a set of turtles, they have a turtle van. uh but at the same time, it is very it's very gimmicky. It's very like, we're gonna use the same mold a billion times and not
Yeah.
improve on stuff. It's gonna be very limited. And yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm not like super mad about it, but I'm also not I just don't know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen now with the
Yeah,
property.
I mean, like you said, double-edged, sword where Playmates found their cash cow, but like now that's not something that they owned. So now that's they're losing those rights. They have a big void in their portfolio, to the point where like it's how do they recover? Because they even say in their statement here, what was it, in 23, TMNT made up 77% of their revenue, and then in 2024 it was 47%, and then the first half of 25 is 36%. And it's just like
Oh
that's
man.
like an over reliance on a single brand. This isn't like Nintendo where like, okay, like 36% is Mario. Well, that's fine. You're effing Nintendo. But like,
Yeah.
a toy company where you know, 30 to 50% of your business is on a brand that you don't own. Well, I mean, you've put yourself in this position. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
so the
crazy.
end result, I was racking my brain. I didn't rack my brain. I thought a little bit about it. I didn't do any internet searching, but like I would think that any sort of 80s 90s nostalgia bait that could be licensed for toys that's worth doing already has a license locked up. So like I can't imagine there's anything out there that Playmates could drop in, even if it's like maybe two or three brands to make up for it. I can't imagine there's something like that out there for Playmates to be able to go grab and
mhm.
you know shift their business over to.
Yeah, especially like when there's I always like want to emphasize the intentionality with regards to statements like this, because they specifically say Power Rangers, Monsterverse, and Winx. And one, I didn't even know that Playmates made Winx stuff, so that's news
Right.
to me. And then Monsterverse wise, like their toys are also like they have some like interesting stuff, and then they just got Power Rangers, so
Right.
Oh man.
that's
And that's not
that's not a
exactly
great,
gonna set the
yeah, that's
world on
not a great
fire.
look. That's not a great look
Right.
when it's just like something you just got, something that like it kind of relies on movies coming out for it, and then another one that I didn't even know that they had. Like that's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
That even sucks right now, especially with like, US Sentai being like Dunzo pretty much. Um
Well, the Disney is gonna do a new Power Rangers, so
oh really?
yeah.
Oh,
But I can't imagine Playmates will. I hazard to. There is a scenario where Playmates does not exist by the time that comes out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do not like as rocky as the past couple years have been for Power Rangers. I do have faith that Disney will actually produce something and put it out as planned. But I don't think they've done casting for that yet.
Oh word.
So
Okay.
it's still going to be a couple, like 2027 is the earliest that comes out.
Okay.
And this is
And
so
yeah, I was gonna also say, this is a little bit of like through the grapevine kind of thing. So maybe it maybe it was someone just kind of talking about stuff they didn't actually know anything about, but uh, there I can't remember who it was, but they were talking to Playmates people about uh like the latest releases that they were gonna do, and they were talking to him about like how they do their marketing and their product shots, and they're like, why aren't you getting any like toy photographers to do this stuff for you, because they can really like, even if it's like a really simple toy, like you
100%.
can get them to make the toys look good. And the guy that they were talking to just very much like blew them off, and just like, why would we waste money on that? Like
what?
it very much like it gives the energy of like they know that on some level their target audience is just gonna gobble up whatever they put out. So like hopefully this could be like a good kick in the pants of like, hey, you need to try,
Right.
because
That
again, it's like one of those things where like all these companies, toy companies, like as much as like people don't like, there's some people who are like, I'm tired of like being shown streams, or uh like I don't like the pipeline reveals and stuff like that. But it's better than just like things just like dropping out of nowhere and just like hoping it shows up in retail and not having ability to buy it online through like your main site, that kind of thing. Like the
Right.
availability aspect is huge, especially with Playmate stuff. There's tons of figures that they have released that end up becoming super pricey on the secondary market because you have to rely on finding it in retail, and like retail hunting is a nightmare. So like
Right.
Mhm.
These days.
that's yeah, it's just not, it's not feasible, and it's like very anti-consumer. And it, again, it kind of just like comes from a mindset that seems not equipped to meet the market where it is and has been. So like I said, I as much as like I'm not like haha like you don't have it anymore, I do hope that they do something to try to like kind of improve as a company, because also like the the Power Rangers reignition stuff, as much as I personally am fine with what they have put out, just a lot of the marketing just seems just just bad, just straight up bad.
Oh.
Like I
What do you
can't even
mean?
sugarcoat it.
The Ninja Kids movie, that's still coming, right?
No, no.
Yeah, it's
What
it's
man.
wild.
what would
I've
be fun?
gotten
All right, so what would be funnier? Playmates goes under and Hasbro buys them, or Mattel buys them?
oh oh man.
I feel like
Um,
Mattel makes more sense, but it would be hilarious if Hasbro did it, and now your partner for Power Rangers is now back with you, basically.
oh man.
Man. You know, this reminds me of the movie Big. The corporate guy who's like pitching a new transformer, right? And it transforms into a building. And then he's Tom Hanks is just like, I don't get it. It just turns into a building. Why doesn't it turn into an animal or like a creature or an insect? And then they just come up with Beast Wars on the spot. And that's how I feel about this. I'm like,
Yeah. Or maybe it will like inspire them to do like a original IP or something. Like just
Oh yeah.
like it's they can make toys. Like we know Playmates
Right,
can make toys, but it's
right.
they've relied on such a cash cow license for so long. Like I hope that they haven't like it doesn't like devastate them to the point like they don't know what to do. Like hopefully
Right.
they are
Right.
able to pivot, and they are, you know,
Pivot.
Yeah,
they're
because
a
like there's
long-lived
so many
enough company to
things.
do that.
There's so many like older like IPs and stuff that are being like re-released to the public. It's like what it would be cool to see like something new come out of this.
All right. Any other thoughts on that before we get on
Not
to
really.
a Star Wars stream?
Ooh, risky
Well,
business for me.
speaking of
Oh
risk,
boy.
maybe you need to roll a chance cube and find out if you're going to buy this Watto.
Here's your
Oh
here's your
man.
$28 Chance Cube accessory that also comes with a Watto.
Okay,
That's
okay,
crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I freaking love the fact that it has a chance cube in there. It that is
Yeah.
gonna be immediately eaten by the carpet for so many people. But damn, that's so good.
I'd lock that up with a Qui-Gon or something.
Blue tack
Oh
on Qui
man.
Gon's hand. He has the chance cube.
Yeah. Amazing that we're getting a Watto though.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one's
on
a little
Attack
weird.
of the
It's
Clones
Yeah, for
boxing.
some reason, I don't know if the Photoshop is just wrong, but this is apparently number 12 in the Attack of the Clones line, which
Oh.
this is definitely not what he looks like in Attack of the Clones. But yeah, this is so yeah, the Star Wars stream was really solid today. There was nothing in it that I'm crazy for, but I understand why people are going crazy for it. Because with Watto and with the rest of them that we're about to talk about, I feel like this is a fan channel wave now. I feel like you're getting everything you could possibly want or need in the box. Like you're not. It feels like you're getting a complete package with this fan channel wave. Like you're getting a flight stand for Watto. You're getting two sets of wings. So like the second one is to make it look like his wings are fluttering.
Flapping.
You get his cane. You get a tablet, and then you get his the fucking chance cube, which is insane. And I'm like, I can't think of anything else that you could possibly want with this.
Yeah, as much as he's like a smaller character, this does really feel like it. If this was a $25 figure, that's like easy value, easy
Right.
value. It kind of
Right.
sucks it's a $30 figure now, but like it's
Yeah.
it's like considering what Black Series is kind of clowned on for, like this is a really good release.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the community has really been ragging them for the last couple years, especially with the price hikes and things with the collection boom in like 2022, 2023. But the hope slash thought is that we're because of their 18-month production cycle, we're finally starting to see their shift into what people have been complaining about and the feedback they've been giving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And go right along to is it Tonway?
Yeah, Tonway.
Yeah.
I
This
am shocked that they are doing a Kaminoan in mainline. I honestly would have thought that they were too tall to even fit in the box. So I'm like, are they gonna like ship
That's a
it with
long
the
box.
right? Like I'm like, are they gonna ship it with like the neck detached and you have to put the neck on? But like, no, I guess they got it to fit. I'm guessing the feet are probably sticking out of the bottom of the tray, so that you could see all of it.
I'm just glad there's cloth goods here. Is that?
Yeah, you get soft goods on the bottom, so you'll be able to have them walking and stuff. I mean,
Nice.
yeah, I can't like the paint apps on the head are probably a little lacking. Like I would have liked to have seen more shading.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, because
to
there was
really
always like a slight
like
like tone like
a
shade in the movie.
translucency sort of to their skin
Yeah.
tone. Yeah,
mm,
so this is kind of just looking like a flat toy. I haven't looked too closely at the high res images to see if there was any sort of, subtlety going on there, but it didn't look like it. But yeah, like honestly, if they were to do Kaminoans, if this was Hasbro from 2-3 years ago, this would have been a deluxe. So it's cool that this is mainline or not
yeah.
mainline, but like a regular release.
Yeah, I very much feel like the I said before previously, like when you collect Star Wars, I feel like there's like certain categories of stuff that you collect, and this was definitely for the alien folks out there that just
Oh
like
yeah, the
love
alien
aliens.
Oh
weirdos.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really good, just like really good, and moving right along, you have the Genosian
Ooh.
warrior, and yeah, that's
That's
a
oh man.
yeah, it has a lot of like good detail on it, and you get a flight stand.
It'll be a crazy army builder.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's great that they're just doing a army builder that's single pack, so you can buy as many to your heart's content. Um, yeah, like you said, the paint apps, at least on the figure, they look really great. A lot of shading on it, a lot of different colors. The weapon is when you look at it closer is pretty apparently just like bare plastic, but it's like as long as there's paint on the figure, I'm less worried about having a ton of paint on the weapon. There's like at least 3 different colors on the weapon anyway. So
Wow,
um
yeah. This seems to
yeah, you
be a
don't get
very flight stand heavy line.
yeah. Yeah, this flight stand like plugs into his I guess you would call it his thorax still. So it's kind of interesting when you see it from the back.
Yeah,
Um it would have been
future
it would have
2-pack army builder for sure.
yeah, probably they'll do it. I think
Ooh.
I want to say the if I had to guess, the armor is probably an overlay piece. So they probably could do something different to make some a Genoshan a little more unique if they wanted to. Yeah, you don't get fluttering wings with this, which would have been like really peak. But the engineering on these wings is actually pretty interesting. It's not overly complicated, but like you have one set of wings that go into just like ball sockets on the back, and that first wing that goes in also has a socket on it that the second set of wings plug into.
Oh,
So
cool.
they look like they're coming out of the same point, but they have
Oh,
independent, uh, more or less, articulation.
that's kind of sick.
Which yeah, it's pretty cool.
Especially when like you gotta like flap those wings like dragonflies, like just
Yeah,
straight up.
but yeah,
Oh
but
man.
with the I feel like for I one of the major complaints I have we'll get to later about the line is a real lack of paint lately, but yeah, that Genosha has a lot of paint, and I think it makes up for the fact that it doesn't come with a second set of wings.
Oh man. These are gonna be hard to find in store for figure hunting. Oh
Well, so
man.
this is fan channel and Amazon only, so you won't even be able to find
Oh,
them in
okay.
store. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
thank God. There's gonna be so many on the streets.
Yeah, it really makes Tanway look kind of small when they like put them all together like that. I'm sure
yeah,
it isn't actually like that.
Yeah,
Like
it looks more like image scaling instead of like figures.
yeah.
it would be funny
Maybe.
if Tanway's box is legitimately just like that much bigger. Like when you get it, it
Comedically
will be like
large
a long
box.
box.
That'd be funny.
But yeah, so for the Alien Star Wars collectors out there, this is going up on the 14th. But I feel like the the big news
Oh yeah, the
is this
showstopper
Oh
is
easily.
this next release.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is Lord Starkiller from the Force Unleashed games. We got the normal, I guess, first game version of him. There was the multi-pack. I think it was a PulseCon exclusive. And then they did a single release with way fewer accessories not long after that. But I think this is the one that people have been really waiting for, the actual Lord Starkiller version of him. So this is a deluxe release. I believe deluxe price is $40 now,
Oh,
but which is
rough.
yeah rough. But like if you're a fan of this, I honestly think it's still worth it at this. But like if this was coming out at $34, the old deluxe price, this would have been an absolute steal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I say oof as in like this is the reality we live in now. But
yeah.
man, like this, if this had been pre-tariff pricing, people would have been like
Oh, it would have
absolutely
been
lauding
it
this
would have been the
figure.
foaming mouth guy from Avatar. People have just been
Yeah.
absolutely like just running down the streets, like losing their marbles. Yeah, so you get it's not only soft goods skirt, it's a wired soft goods on the skirt, three
Ooh.
separate pieces. It's not tattered, but the fact that it's wired, like I'll give it to them. You get I didn't play these games. I've always meant to. I think I even have them downloaded on my Xbox, but I haven't got around to it. Maybe I need to now.
You know what
Um,
you have to do.
yeah, apparently he comes with there's like story behind all the lightsabers he has, and he comes with all six of the lightsabers he's supposed to have. So he has obviously grip hands, but he also comes with, which is sad to say, but also crazy for the Black Series. He comes with two alternate hands for like force pushing and posing.
Ooh.
Um, he has the majority of the paint apps that he's supposed to have too. Um, and obviously this is like a fully new figure. He's missing thigh swivel, but that's not a surprise these days for Black Series. Um, but yeah, like anyone that's a fan of this, I think is feasting. And if you want this, you better get it when it goes up for pre-order, because I can guarantee you that this will be a hard to get in the future. I foresee this selling out before the year is out, and then once it's sold out, the price on the aftermarket is gonna go way up.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. It is just such a good looking release, and yeah, I didn't put the mock up packaging in here just because it's like really bad, like
Yeah, it
digital.
was clearly last minute.
Yeah,
It's a
but like
render type of
It's a
thing.
rough draft.
yeah, I was gonna say it's not even a render. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh,
it's just bad. You
It,
get
it
you
just
can
it's just like it's a 2D Photoshop thing. Like it's clearly
yeah.
yeah.
If
yikes.
you watch the stream, you can see. But yeah, like
Yeah.
but just the package inclusions. And again, for Black, I know for like a Marvel Legends, like alt hands is really getting all you guys hot and bothered. Like
Yes.
for Black Series, yes.
Yes.
Black Series,
Yeah, so
yes.
a quick comparison. So last year one of the I mean they only do 2 or 3 deluxe releases a year, which is wild when you consider how many they do for Marvel Legends. But one of the big ones last year was Savage Press,
Oh man.
and he came with like he's pretty decent as well. Like he's taller than a standard figure as he should be. He has most of the articulation that you want. He's actually the first and still only Black Series figure to have a double ball torso. So he has a ball at the top and then a ball at the waist. Um, his paint apps are pretty good for the most part. He has a soft goods skirt. He doesn't come with any alternate hands, but he comes with the spear here, and he comes with his lightsaber. But the lightsaber hilt is unpainted, which
Oh.
sucks because it looks like bare plastic and it's pretty obvious. Um, I don't, I didn't look close enough because again, like Wartorn said, they didn't have press images ready for this yet, so it was just what they had on the table. I don't think the lightsaber hilts on this are painted, but like in comparison, like this isn't bad, but like I didn't know that we were able to want this sort of thing, you know? Like they've done wired soft goods last year. They did 2 releases, but one was a con exclusive, and one was a Pulse exclusive. I didn't know like wired soft goods was even on the table for what is effectively a retail release. That's insane.
Yep. And the people who are you know thinking of portals are essentially like if Star Wars can do it, Marvel can do it. So
Yes.
it is very much a big possibility going forward, and especially with what we're about to talk about with the report cards, that we could see more of this in the future for Hasbro offerings, which is a very exciting. And yeah, like as much as people clown on Hasbro for just like essentially like catching up to a lot of like import toy companies that have been doing this, like it's still something that we need to actually applaud and be happy about, because we need to encourage the fact that this is like it's both possible and happening.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
this, like I don't think it's gonna be a thing where like go, if you want to see this in the future, go buy this figure, because I'm sure people are gonna just even
Yeah.
I bet there's gonna be people who are not even interested in Star Wars who are just gonna buy this because it just looks good figure wise.
Like
So
the what was it like I think it was with this really strong kick of deluxes. I think started the year before last year, maybe. I think it was Malgus and the Droideka. Malgus looked sick and I almost got that, but I had no connection to it, and like this is just like clearly even a step above that Malgus, if not maybe 2 steps above. Like that's how good this is.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm not saying like this is good for Black Series. I think this is just like a good figure.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we, as much as Black Series has some uh imperfections, this is definitely not going to be one of them, and I really hope that like when this releases, it has like no issues and any of all that
Yeah.
stuff, because it like that would be very awful if something with this much promise comes
Yeah.
out and there's issues with it. But from
Yeah, thankfully
from the
I
onset, it looks good.
yeah, like I'm not aware of any Black Series like joint issues lately. I'm not aware of. They've had like obvious design flaws, but I don't see any here. And so far, their soft goods can be real hit or miss, like real extreme ends. But they did a good job on the Ronin wired soft goods. They did a great job with the uh, Vader cape as well. So I'm going in with the assumption that this is going to be 3 for 3 when it comes to wired soft goods from them.
What is the articulation for the wrists? Is it ball?
Yes, I believe that these are ball joints.
Okay. Yeah. Again,
But these are pretty. The hands are pretty specific to Star Lord, or
yeah.
Lord Starkiller. Sorry.
I was just wondering because I know there's been the debate of whether Legends should start doing that,
Yeah,
but
I will say the bad Photoshop that they showed of the packaging, it did look like the hands had a peg, the alternate hands that they were showing in the packaging.
okay.
But on the stream, I'm fairly certain they said that they're ball joints.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I
We
can go
we can
either
get into
way.
that when we talk about the report cards because I have very specific thoughts about the ball joints,
Okay, all right, okay.
the
Cool.
implementation of ball joints.
But yeah, so February 4th is when we're looking out for this fig. Yeah, it's tempting. It's tempting. It looks really nice. Uh, but I didn't play these games, and as much as I like Star Wars, I don't. I'm not the one who collects Star Wars in this house. It's the is my lady that does, and I don't think she cares about this character.
You're telling me she
Oh,
doesn't want a
man.
goth daddy?
Nope.
The angsty goth dad,
Yeah.
even more angsty than the supreme one himself.
All right. But yeah, but in looking to the future, we should first look to the past. Like I said, Mr. Stevie, who is in charge of Disney, of essentially Disney brands, Star Wars and Marvel at Hasbro, did a impromptu survey about what should they continue, what should the line start doing, and what they should stop doing, and assigning them a grade for how they did this past year. And yeah, this will first cover Black Series, then Legends after, and obviously Falcon, you're more the Star Wars Black Series collector, so we'll hear your thoughts about this summary and what other folks were talking about.
Yeah, so just so if people aren't aware, Mr. Stevie in his he gave the same prompt for he did it for Black Series, Marvel Legends, Vintage Collection, and Retro. But we're only going to talk about Black Series and Marvel Legends because they're 6-inch lines. But the prompts for I actually don't remember what if the retro ones were different. But as far as Black Series and Marvel Legends goes, the prompts were the same. He asked people what they should continue doing because it works, what's something they should start doing, and then what's something they should stop doing to improve, and then give it a grade. Um, and so my personal thoughts, I didn't reply because typing out long comments on Instagram is basically impossible. So I didn't reply to Mr. Stevie's posts, but I have some quick bullet points here. If I were responding to the prompts, um, so as far as what they should continue to do, I said that they should continue offering a wide variety of characters from different eras and media types. I think the past year or two they've been doing an excellent job on, especially with the fan channel waves, just giving us some real deep cuts that no other toy company would ever make. Let's be honest. Like if if the toy license were to go to someone else, they're not going to make a Watto figure. uh, and then I said to continue the vignette set releases. So last year we got the Revenge of the Sith Anakin and Obi-Wan, and we got the Empire Strikes Back Luke and Darth Vader. I think those are great little set pieces, little highlights on the shelf. So I think they should keep doing that. Um, as far as what they should start doing to improve, I said that they should include more accessories in the box. So we touched on that earlier, where Lord Starkiller having two alternate hands is earth shattering in the Black Series community. But yeah, it's pretty crazy that Marvel and Disney, or Marvel and Star Wars, are both from Disney, and Hasbro has the license to make action figures from both of those brands. But even something like MCU figure releases still get. I know it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but like, why are MCU releases getting more accessories than uh, most Black Series releases? They've been getting a little bit better about some random releases having a lot of accessories. Like there's the seventh sister from Rebels, I think it is, the Inquisitor. She comes with a ridiculous amount of accessories, which is great, but like more often than not, you're still not getting a lot. Um, and then to build upon that, I said they need to start including alt hands with the vast majority of figures. I think it's ridiculous that we get excited about a single alt hand coming with some figures. That's a big reason why I was happy to pick up the SHF Boba Fett, is because like, if you don't have a 3D printer and you want to buy a set of alt hands online, that's gonna be easily $20, and they probably won't even be painted if you're buying it from a store or individual seller. Um, and just having the alt hands just adds just a whole nother level of expressiveness and display options with your figures. Obviously, we primarily talk about Marvel Legends here, so we know about, like, it's cool that with my damaged Spider-Man here, I have the what is the wall crawling hand, but I have it acting as if he's like holding his arm. You
Right.
can do stuff like this with your alt hands, and not having that with Black Series, I think, is pretty ridiculous at this point.
Right. You'd think with like a Black Series Obi-Wan, he'd have like a thinking hand, just like
Or
do
like
the
his
thing.
literal signature move where he has
That
the pointing
yeah,
fingers when he's in his stance. I'm like, I need that with literally all of my Obi-Wan figures, and I don't have it for a single
100%.
one.
Yeah. That's rough,
uh,
man.
yeah. So yeah, stuff like that. Um, yeah, and I'm not saying they need to do like with Spider-Man where you need to have two sets of alternate hands. Like, no, I'm literally like, for most I just need one, and like, for the deluxe releases, do two. I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they also been doing this. Did I put that on here? Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. So we'll get into, so again, building upon the hands. So my stop list is, I'll try to go through my stop list quickly, but something that they need to stop doing. So for the first one, I said stop designing lip dick hands. They have this, so like, obviously, so like, like Cassian Andor here, he just has like two C grip hands.
Oh, I okay, I see what you
Yes,
mean
so
now.
like well, no, they do like two extremes. So like, Cassian has like two C grip hands, and people were complaining about like, no one walks around and just holds their hands like this. So they started, and so people have been asking for them to do like, okay, let's have more expressive hands, let's have like force hands and stuff. But instead of including alternate hands, what they do is, I don't think I have one in front of me that specifically. I think the worst offender in my mind of recent past is Padawan Ahsoka. So she's a dual wielder. She has two lightsabers, right? But her offhand for her, what is it called? Like a Shoto blade, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, she cannot hold that lightsaber to save her goddamn life, because what they started doing is having some sort of just like weird, like, not gesture, not grip hands with a lot of their figures.
Yeah,
And so,
I'm gonna real
oh, you
quick.
got yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to my camera focus real quick. But
I'm
yeah,
not crazy. Have you had the same problem?
oh yeah, these
Okay.
I don't know how this lightsaber stays in her hands, but yeah, let me put me in focus real quick.
Oh, I see
But yeah,
that foot stand.
yeah, but like look at this hand.
Yeah.
Like that's not holding it.
It's useless. I've had to
It
actually had the
is.
thought the other day, like I just need to
Whoop,
blast it with a
yep.
hair dryer and then pinch it down so that she can
Yeah.
actually hold.
But yeah, it's like it
Right.
is
So what they're
truly
trying to do is they're trying to like on a lot of figure and I think people glaze the Mundi figure, but I think he is also atrocious at this. They try to do it where like your the ring finger and pinky have like a grip on it, but then the middle and pointer are out like a little bit so that you can like say that they're doing like a force move or they're just more relaxed or something. But like then it's not good at either. It looks dumb as a force wielding hand because it's not like an obvious like one of these, or like a push or anything. And then it
Right.
doesn't actually function as a grip hand. So they
Damn.
just need to stop doing that. I would rather for someone like a Cassian Andor, like okay, yes, his right hand should obviously be like a grip trigger hand, but then like the left hand, they actually did it with the new Han Solo. Like the offhand should just be like some sort of like relaxed or gesture hand, you know?
Right.
Um and then I think yeah, and then I think with these Jedi, like if they're a dual wielder, they just need to be double grip. And
These
then
damn Jedi and their limp dick hands.
right. And then like the main lightsaber wielding hand should still be like your traditional C grip. And then give us start giving us alternate hands for the offhand, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's so much you could change with just like at least one alternate hand and a not so shitty grip hand. Like,
Right. And I don't think that's asking too much because especially for uh I would imagine for most, if not, I would imagine for like, I mean, I haven't gone to look to see like, okay, who has gloves and who doesn't. But let's be honest, these days they're not molding gloves, they're just painting gloves on. So like you could just do a mold for male and a mold for female and like okay, now that's the hand that's the alt hand that gets included in the figures, you know? I'm not
right.
asking them to make a new mold for that character specific hands for every single figure. It's like do what Marvel Legends does, and you have like a library of alt hands that you can pull from and you only made like 3 or 4, and like you get it was worth the investment because the hand's only going to cost 5 cents to make after you do the mold for it.
No, but
100%.
yeah, you are completely correct on that. I had been wondering why the hands were like that because yeah, as someone who these figures are for my wife, so whenever I like made sure like in the reviews to that didn't have any like well-known problems and stuff like that, it's just like why are they like this? But that's crazy that
Yeah.
they essentially are doing this as a like we're gonna try to meet you folks in the middle, and it's like
Halfway, yeah.
it's
And it serves
not good for
neither
anybody.
purpose.
It's not good
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
anybody.
go look at the hands on Mundi. I think he came out last year, and I think he is easily the worst offender of that. It's super obvious with it. And then some of the Acolyte figures, they did that with that as well. So like
Gotcha.
Soul and Yord, I think they did that a lot with those too. All right, now one of the big ones is stop removing points of articulation. So that's been very very infamously, they a couple years ago stopped doing thigh swivel. This is literally all the movement I have rotationally on this Andor figure's thigh, so basically nothing. um they claim it's weird. They claim it is to keep the sculpt clean, to not have any breaks in the sculpt, but they keep doing that on TVC figures. They still have thigh swivel, and they seem to think that the engineering of having swivel at the knee is good enough substitute, but it's definitely not, because last time I checked, a human can't swivel their knee. So it gets
If
figures in really unnatural looking poses. Um, and then it's pretty odd. Like at first, a lot, myself and some others in the community thought that it was a cost saving measure, because less parts means, less cost, to both produce and assemble the figure. But on a lot of figures though, not long after they started doing this, a lot of figures still have boot swivel. So by having boot swivel on all of these figures, like the parts count is the same. And I'm like, well, like the cost of casting the boots in a different color versus just painting them, I can't imagine is huge. So at this point, the only conclusion I can come to is that either the lead designer or some jackass over at Lucasfilm has made the call to stop putting thigh swivel on these figures, and I think that's insane. Stop.
that one Lucas employee.
Right. I can't imagine that a Lucasfilm employee would somehow have say over the specific engineering and design of the action figures, simply just, the look. But they've been like their official statement to people when they ask the question, they say it's for aesthetic reasons. So I don't know. Maybe someone at Lucasfilm is saying them to. I don't know, but they just need to stop. They need to bring it back. Next I got is stop reducing the amount of paint. Even though we just got done talking about a whole wave of figures that, for the most part, look like they have a good amount of paint, or at least some of them did. There's been a pretty obvious trend in the last couple of years of a reduction in paint on Star Wars figures. If you look at some of the earlier figures and even some of the deluxe figures these days, um, actually, yeah, the Bespin Luke is the new Bespin Luke that came in the vignette set is a good example. A lot of Star Wars figures used to get like a wash on them, to dirty them up and bring out the sculpt details and stuff. That's almost entirely non-existent these days for normal releases. Um, and they, in this report card, apparently people are saying to continue maintaining high quality face printing, and I'm like, are you high? Because last time I checked, a lot of these faces have a lot less paint on them. Sure, you still have your occasional standout releases. So like Shock T last year had a lot of great paint on it. Um, but I think a lot of the time you're getting a real reduction in paint. One of the more recent examples that really stands out to me is Moff Gideon. So if you compare Moff Gideon season 1 figure to Moff Gideon season 3, you'll see that the season 1 figure had a lot of shading to like especially on the cheeks. So, yes, he's still a toy, but like it's still passable for like, hey, this is like a 1/12 version of a human head on this action figure. But if you look at the season 3 Moff Gideon, is very obviously just a toy, because there is zero shading on his face. And it's just bare plastic everywhere except for like the eyes and lips, and it looks terrible. They've also had a problem recently. It's not all figures. I think the Andor might have that problem. It's it might be it's this is specifically, I think, maybe a factory problem where they're just getting it wrong and not a Hasbro design direction thing. But they have a problem lately where sometimes they get the eyes wrong, and the whites of the eyes are just a real stark plain white, and like the human eye like isn't, like the whites of your eyes, like, you know you have blood flowing through them, so
Right.
there's a little tint of red to them. So them looking just like a real stark white just looks really wrong, and it just looks like the paint is just like on top of the eye, again lending to that this looks like a toy, not like a 1/12 human head. So that's been a problem lately. Uh,
Right. I mean, with the paint apps, if you remember what we talked about last stream, that or was it last stream or 2 streams ago? The stormtrooper missing the entire back paint.
hmm.
You know?
Yeah, the
Yeah, that was
Commander
like
Wolf figure.
yeah, that was like
Yeah, it's
two.
Yeah,
like, oh
stuff like
boy.
that.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's like the most obvious of like, what are we doing
Yeah.
here?
right.
I was
And
gonna
that's
say, I did have a thought just now, like you
okay.
describing all these issues with it, and like with what we're looking at in terms of moving forward. Again, I kind of likening back to the Playmates thing. The issues you're describing for Black Series to me very much sound like they are just doing upscaled retro slash
Oh
TVC.
man.
And so like they're not actually making, like you said, like a modern 6-inch line for Star Wars. They're essentially just like it's all the toys that you did have when you were a kid, but just bigger. And
Right.
so we don't feel the need to, like you said, include certain points of articulation that would make it good for like posing and stuff like that. We don't need to give you alternate hands or alternate heads or effects. It's just like, and on top of that, like I know for a lot of Star Wars collectors, that's also where like a lot of the inbox community kind of lives. So when you have just like a clean, like it's a figure and like their signature accessory, and it's like as good as you can get it to look in the box, and like that's it. For a lot of people, like that's where it's going to live. It's not going to live on the shelf. You're not going to like take photos with it. You're not going to like play with it. um yeah, like I'm just realizing now, like that's essentially all they're doing, is that they're
Yeah.
coming at this from the mentality of someone that has already collected this stuff, and essentially like they're making, not making them, but they're kind of tempting them to collect it all again, just bigger, and
Right.
not
Yeah.
actually making like 6-inch action figures that like for the most part has become the 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 expected like package for people who collect that scale of just like
Right.
something that is like very posable, has a lot of like stuff in it to like enhance the figure itself. And yeah, like it, like you said, like the fact that like the eyes are just stark white is like this is very much a toy
Right.
versus like a representation of like the piece of media that I like. And yeah, it just like hit me like a train all at once. Just like us, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the main problem with this, and that's why
Yeah.
like yeah, that's why something like that Lord Starkiller, just it's like, oh, this is like an actual good figure, like
Right.
versus like what other Black Series stuff is. But yeah,
Which
sorry to
yeah, which
interrupt.
is crazy. Like I don't get how the budgets get laid out and this stuff gets figured out, because like the thing that really, like, I've been increasingly, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still, I mean, had what, at least 3 Black Series things on my top 10 in the last stream. But as a whole, I've been um increasingly negative with the line. And what really sent me over the edge was, like I said earlier at the beginning, was that Boba Fett figure that they just did for Book of Boba Fett. Like, it's been how many years? You're coming late to releasing that figure, one. And two, it has like, two, the colors on it are wrong. The sculpt on it is bad. Like, especially around the helmet. I won't bore people with the details, but the helmet on it is really bad, and it's lacking a significant amount of paint that even just the last Boba Fett figure had. And so it just very much just looks like a toy. And I understand it's not fair to compare a Hasbro release to an import, which is, 3 to 4 times the cost, depending on how you do the math. Um, but even within the line itself, it is apparent to me that a lot of releases are not giving one, like not getting the love they deserve. Like you would think like Boba Fett, like hello, that's gonna be
Yeah.
your
The toy poster
one of
child.
your evergreen characters, so something that you're gonna do right every time, and yada yada and so forth. But also just like it's inferior to what came before it. So it's just like, what are we doing here? What's the point? Because
Right.
like if I look over at um Jada Toys in their Street Fighter line, obviously the license on that isn't going to be as much. But people rant and rave about those. I've been looking at them more. I'm not gonna buy them, but like just like as just curiosity, I've been looking at them and I'm like we touched on earlier, like those feel like complete products out of the box that you're gonna be happy with what you get, and what you get is gonna be really good. And like a lot of releases for Black Series, I feel like aren't that, especially like with that Boba Fett that just came out.
Yeah, which is again like it's wild because like they can make it. It's clear like they can cook. They
Right?
can cook
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Just like
exactly.
so, yeah. There's clearly like a weird disconnect, and yeah. Hopefully, it's not Lucasfilm themselves that
Yeah,
are like the ones doing it because that would be like the hardest to fix. Like
yeah,
Right.
yeah. There was some stream I was watching earlier. They were just spitballing. There was no thought put into it, but it's like, do fan channel waves get more budget somehow than a mainline wave? Because like if you look at the last mainline wave and you look at this new fan channel wave, it's like I feel like this fan channel wave clearly got more budget than that new mainline wave. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, I got two more points here real quick. Um I said to stop utilizing ball jointed wrists on characters where the design makes the joint useless. So, I don't have the best examples in front of me, but like Savage Opress here, he comes with ball jointed wrists, but like he has gauntlets, and like it comes down onto his wrist. So a lot of people uh praise this figure for having ball jointed wrists, but the range of movement, I can't get his damn spear out of his hand right now, but the range on his wrists is actually really bad. And then a really bad offender for me personally, as much as I love having a figure of the character, is Night Sister Marin for Jedi Survivor. The sleeves of her jacket also come all the way down to her wrist, and so she literally cannot move her wrist up and down or side to side. She can rotate her
Ooh.
wrist, and that is it. She otherwise cannot move her wrist at all. Um, which is really bad because when you have someone like Marin where she has her spear, or Savage Opress where he has a double-sided lightsaber, I want to sometimes get them into a stance where they have their wrists like this but to their side, and so the spear or the saber would be going like basically up their back. That poses impossible because of their implementation of these ball jointed wrists on these characters where the physical design does not allow for any wrist movement. Another quick example of why they should still be using hinged wrists on subfigures. And I can talk about it again later because it sounded like you wanted to talk about a War Torn. But someone like MCU Wasp here, where she has her dart shooters on her wrists, and so you're going to want to be able to get that pose where her wrist is down like this, and that's not going to be possible with, I don't think, in my opinion, with just a ball joint there. Like you need a hinge joint in order to pull off this sort of pose. And so I think they need to be a little more constructive about it. They need to be more conscious of how they're implementing the ball jointed wrists, and only doing it where the character design allows for a range of movement still. I'm I can't say for certain because I don't have it myself, but I'm pretty sure like the new Han Solo, since that's just his straight up arms, I'm pretty sure his wrists still have a decent amount of movement because they're ball jointed. But yeah, if a character has like gauntlets or a long jacket sleeve or something, I really think they need to still stick with the hinge joints because that still gives you, sure, it's only in one direction, but at least I'm getting articulation in that direction rather than no articulation in any direction.
Man.
Yeah. No,
And
like
then
it.
uh,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
uh and then real quick, my last one is just, for the love of God, please stop utilizing removable helmets. They are awful. They make figures look
Oh.
like bobbleheads. Please go to swappable heads. They already figured out how to do that in TVC, so they please start doing it in Black Series. Actually,
Yeah,
no,
I
they did do it once last year. The Stranger from the Alkalite. They did not only a swappable head for the helmet, they did a swappable neck as well. So
ooh.
they're not idiots. They can do it. They just need to do it more. Um,
It's crazy, like hearing these things and like knowing that they have the resources and they're not crazy. They could
yeah,
do this stuff. It's like why
yeah. So like we
not?
got. Oh god, I just locked my Obi-Wan over. So like we have Cody here, and so like he's not as bad as older ones, but like it's still pretty bobbleheady to me. Like I feel like that looks a little too big. Obviously in the movie they were too small, but I feel like
Mm,
this is still too big because like if you look at Mando here, this is just a head on there, and so I feel like the proportions on that Mando helmet is much better than Cody's head.
yeah,
You
a
know?
lot more sleek. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway, overall,
I
I gave Black Series a C if I were to rate it on the scale that he wanted.
yeah, I know
It's
the
not total
helmet.
trash, but there are still obvious improvements I think they need to be making.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the helmet thing too. I understand it saves them from like technically if they have to go all in on like helmet head regular head, a lot of people want like the like holding the helmet, shot
Yeah.
sometimes. And
I mean, you can
I know
still do
there's
that. I've seen a
yeah,
ton of
you
people with this because this SHF Boba Fett, this is just an alternate head, and he
yeah,
comes with a different neck and heads. I've seen plenty of people posing him with holding the helmet, so it's like
yeah.
it's not
I know
impossible.
I was gonna say like I know like there's some people that probably will be like I don't like have like the fact that there's a head in there, but it's uh yeah, like it's still doable. I do think there is potential where like it would look kind of weird scale wise, but I think that's better than the current issue where like you said it's like very bobbleheady
Yeah,
of like any and it's not like helmeted characters in Star Wars are rare. Like that's a lot of characters.
right,
Right.
right.
So um
That's
And then
half the universe.
yeah, exactly. And then real quick, I'll say one more comment I noticed on the overall of what Mr. Stevie put together, what he gathered from the community. When apparently a lot of people were saying stop locking important characters behind hard to get exclusives. Like I feel like for the most part they've gotten a lot better about that, and that's like not really an issue these days as much as it was again like maybe like 3-ish years ago. So I think people saying that are kind of out of touch, and it's unfortunate that Mr. Stevie now thinks that might be a problem.
Oh man.
yeah. I mean, there's also 6 people that voted giving them an E grade on a ABCDF scale.
Yeah.
So
Got two Fs.
yeah,
So anyway, I'll stop yapping now. And I'll go last with Marvel Legends.
yeah. I was gonna say, um, I did comment on the Marvel Legends uh version of this, and I I I had said I think I posted it into the Discord initially. Like, I really hope I'm not overglazing the Legends team. What I have to say, but I really did feel like they did a stellar performance last year, and then I was very glad to see that basically most of the community very much agrees with that. Um, uh, I did have mine pulled up for what I said. Essentially, I said for continuing that more classic characters. They did a really good job with like Rom and Adam Warlock, Inhumans, Goated. Even like a super simple release like Phantom Rider, like it's one of those
Oh yeah,
characters that
yeah.
could easily have been like, they could
Left
easily
in the
skip that.
dust.
Yeah, but they didn't do that. So I did say like, hopefully we'll see folks like the Warriors 3 and General Ross and Red Ghost and Wizard. Hint hint, please. And then the the what I want them to start doing, and I really hope that people would be into this, is that they in the overall it says like accessories, and for me, I think the accessories have to go beyond like, effects parts and like, you know uh and like weapons and stuff like that. I really do think that they need to start adding like dio friendly items in it. I think I specifically said um lampposts, fire hydrants, dumpsters, that kind of thing. Just like
Mm.
stuff that could like be put into a scene and would like, obviously it still has to make sense with the character, but like it would be really cool that if they, instead of doing like a build a figure, they started doing like build a scenes or build a dio.
Oh,
Because my biggest problem, and uh I actually didn't say this in my stop, but like my biggest problem, it especially it was more a lot more pronounced with the reissues this year, of when they reissue a build a figure, like a figure that was in a build a figure wave, they still make the bath part that goes with them. So like Power Princess was reissued, but she was part of the uh
Void.
yeah, the Void Wave. So they included the Void legs with her, which, fine. Like I'm sure there were some people who are still building Void and they're like, dang, I didn't get a Power Princess, but I got everyone else. So if that's the case for you, awesome. But for a lot of people, they just wanted Power Princess to make Wonder Woman. So let's be real here. Like that's like the
yeah.
main reason. So now there's just like, for me, there's all this plastic waste in the form of void legs, just like in the ether. And I'm also thinking about like whenever they do like an army builder, and that army builder is part of a non-army builder bath, of which we've only gotten like one army builder bath, and everything else uh in those waves were not army builders. So regardless of whether you are building up multiple baths or you're building up multiple standard figures, you're going to have plastic wastes, figure waste, if they continue to do bath stuff. And again, for reissues, that's also going to be a problem. And it's also just like, again, it's just weird because people want the figure, they don't necessarily want the piece. So I think if they
Right.
did do, and I kind of wish I did say this in my comment. I was just excited at the idea of just like, oh, you can add like dio parts. But like that would be a much better thing. Like if you had like a hand ninja and like the bath thing with the hand ninja. Granted, okay, maybe the hand ninja is not a good example because when they did the hand ninja, they gave them the Stiltman legs, which was actually like hilarious seeing people make like 100 hand ninja armies with like 100 leg segment Stiltmans.
I'm pretty
But
sure I saw someone do a stilt man that was literally 2 stories tall and went up to like their second story balcony.
yeah,
That's
exactly. Like
crazy.
stuff like that, that's smart to do. But most army builders were not packaged in that way, which sucks. So if they did do like a random army builder in a wave, at the very least, if it's just like, there's like a breakable wall that came with them or whatever, if you get like a stack of those, that's not something that now you're like, all right, well, this is gonna go in the trash. So, and in general, and Mr. Stevie touched on this in like recent streams in like revelations from like these various surveys, of like, with a lot of people, like there's a lot more intentionality with collecting. Like they want to build towards something, and I think that's like super important that you include stuff that works towards that. And I think dio stuff is very much what they should start doing. it kind of reminds me how I think it's SHF, like they have just a releases it's just like effects parts, and that's
Yeah.
also
Yes.
something
Yeah, yeah.
I suggested too, of just like, if it is just like generic effects pieces, do that. If you want to do things like weapon packs, sure. If you want to do like just like, here's like a whole mess of hands that are just like the normal like white person flesh color, flesh tone, or like a black person flesh tone, do that, because there are people out there that will buy that and will be happy about it because it enhances the figures that they already do have. And then the stop, I focused more on. I know a lot of people are like, don't use like the Vulcan body and stuff like that. I personally don't have a major issue with the Vulcan body, even with the shoulder aspect of it being like kind of like, okay, whatever. But
Right.
the I do feel like if we get like a female buck that is like still shiny torso, or like doesn't have thigh or boot swivel or both, or like single jointed elbows, like that is a absolute, like, stop doing that. Just absolutely, like, we are so well past that in terms of like figure tech that like anything that even is suggested with that for Legends, I think should absolutely be ignored. Like that has to stop. Granted, like I said, last year, I don't believe there were any figures that fit that description, but I just want to reemphasize that like they need to absolutely not do that anymore, because they have the tools, and I honestly, like, even if it's like it comes down to like saving a buck or two, like find something else to do that with. And I did mention those awful female using powers hands that have nails on them. Like those need to go away. Like I don't want to see that on a
Yeah.
figure ever again.
100%.
That's like a 10-year-old accessory piece. Like, please stop.
Right.
But even with all that said, like it was like easily like last year's releases were an A for me. There was just not anything that I felt was like absolute trash. And even things like Werewolf by Night, where it's like it's just definitely disappointing that it is like older tech on a fig, and like it didn't come with anything. But the thing with Legends is the fact that they made a Werewolf by Night at all is like the key aspect of why people would like that fig. And for Joestar, like that was on your top 10.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Like sometimes there is like value in simplicity, and not everything needs to be like, 3 alt hands and 3 alt heads and like effects piece, all this stuff. Sometimes it can just be a figure.
Yeah.
Something that I wish that the GI Joe team would have a similar thing to do a
You
survey
don't want a
about.
rhinoceros with your soldier?
Yeah.
How
Oh,
about a
man.
polar bear?
Man, like again, it's one of those things where like either it just has to make sense. Like with Falcon, what you said, like sometimes a ball wrist would be great on a figure, and sometimes it absolutely makes no sense. So like, just like, I don't know, just like think for 2 seconds. Does this work? Does this make sense for this figure? And then do it. It doesn't have to be like apply it to everything. But there's certain choices that are just they're clearly bad, and they're clearly outdated, and you need to stop doing those things. And I don't know. I feel like there's enough feedback out there between online communities, and I know there's like some poor intern that has to read all these dumbass Reddit posts of like the dumbest questions on the planet, but like there's also valuable stuff there.
Right.
Right.
As much as I absolutely hate seeing those posts, I also understand that like there are some people in the comments that like do make good points, and there are just very obvious things that they could start doing, and they have the capability of doing it. Everyone says that. Everyone says that Legends has the ability to beat imports in terms of quality. They do. And
Or at least like bang for buck.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny. I have seen a lot of people feel like the 2099 is better than the I think it's the is it the Malfax that just came out last year?
Yes.
But yeah, like I saw people are like, no, this is better, and you know, to each their own. But it's one of those things where like they can cook, but they have to be given the ability to do that, because otherwise there were stains on the brand last year. Maximum Hulk being probably the most prominent of those things. I just saw a post today of someone's Hulk torso just being completely ripped. It's just like multiple tears in the torso, and like
Yikes.
that's just not good. That figure's not even a year old, and it's already doing that. Like that's not good at all. But aside from those like small points, like they still like had a pretty banger year. I would honestly say it was better than 2024, and 2024 was a strong year for Legends too. There was a lot of bangers that year, but like I said, I spent more on this last year than the year previous, and I bought a lot of like Joes in 2024. So like between Joes and Legends, like I didn't buy that much, but 2025 I bought a lot, and it was mainly Legends.
I hear that.
I
mean, that's my entire collection in one year.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I guess
going. Sorry to interrupt, but going back to your comment on like getting Dio pieces, dude, you just unlocked a faint memory of getting the Sam Raimi Spider-Man toys, and they all had like
hell yeah.
billboards and stuff, and like stop like traffic lights, and it's like crazy stuff, and I'm like, where are they at? Where'd they go?
Yeah, the J. Jonah Jameson came with a whole ass desk.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like it's
so
crazy.
I wasn't actually sick, but I had like a fever dream thought on the best first thing that they could do, I think. So everyone and their mother keep saying that they want some sort of HasLab or some sort of diorama of an X-Men Danger Room. So what if you do I don't know if it would probably have to be something similar to Maximum series, where you only get 2 to 3 releases a year. And I think that they need to approach it where they just need to be upfront and tell people when they announce it is like, hey, we want to make more of these, but in order for us to do so, you need to buy them, the ones that we're putting out now. So if you want more, buy these. And I think if they're upfront about that and they talk about it that way, I think people will go ham. I think they need to do basically deluxe releases of X-Men characters. You don't need to go crazy with accessories or effect pieces or anything, because they need to do something similar. Cause I think GI Joe did, like they had like a stand or like a post or something, like a like a outpost sort of thing, and if you bought multiple, you can like stack them up or something. They need to do something similar with Danger Room pieces, where you get like a wall and a floor or something like that, and then you also get like a Danger Room like weapon or obstacle or some sort of thing. And then have it where there's like an attachment mechanism system, and so when you buy multiple of them, or you buy the different figures, and then they can click them together, and then you make a Danger Room after you buy all of the X-Men figures.
And
then cherry on top, It's like, okay, I'm not too deep in X-Men, but I'm pretty sure they've been checking off a lot of like X-Men teams that people have been wanting. I think they just more or less completed Astonishing X-Men.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like, and like they have X-Men 97 going now. So it's like, okay, like what could they do that might not be the most popular X-Men series, but people that want those will be willing to pay potentially a higher price, and then people that want the Dio pieces, you'll be forcing them in to basically boost the sales of these other figures that might not be the most popular X-Men characters. And I'm like, this is how we get X-Men Evolution. The Danger Room,
Yeah.
the Danger Room was, from what I remember, the Danger Room was a huge part of X-Men Evolution because they're kids in school, so they're going to school and then they come back and they do their X-Men training, and I'm like, that's it. You do
It's the
X-Men
move.
Evolution with Danger Room diorama pieces.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I,
that
I
would
was
be
gonna
sick as
say,
hell.
yeah, Falcon is speaking like a Diamond Select toy maker from the 2010s because that's because that's what they did with their X-Men, the Marvel Select X-Men, is that they each came with a wall, a
Oh, they
floor
did?
piece
Fuck.
for
I
Yeah.
thought I had a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't know I
literally
stole
like
it.
yeah, literally Marvel Select came out with there's a whole bunch of X-Men, and each one came with a floor piece, a wall piece, and a weapon that can be mounted on the wall piece. So
Fuck.
like Psylocke, yeah, like Psylocke came with like one of those like kung fu training like
Oh,
trees. I don't know.
dummies.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how else to describe, but it's like it's basically like
It's
a
Yeah,
a wing
with the
combat
chun
sticks
tree.
dummy.
coming out of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Storm came with like a wall piece that had a flamethrower. Gambit came with one with that had a gun. Colossus came with like those plates that technically like if they had two of them on
Oh,
either side they'd crush you. I like that was one of the reasons why I bought two Marvel Select Colossi. Other than the fact that I wanted a Colossus, my wife wanted a Colossus, is that cool? Now I have two crusher pieces so he can like stand between them and like be
that
preventing
is
it from
awesome.
crushing somebody. But yeah, that's exactly what they did. And it's funny because a lot of people, whenever they talk about like whenever the like this is what I want for like a maximum X character, it's essentially what like Marvel Select already did. Like maximum release Captain America, give him a triangle shield, a circular shield, a whole bunch of hands, and like I think the select version even came with like an alternate neck so he could just like have like a fully cowled version and like the unmasked version. Sue basically had almost enough stuff to be just like two different figures because
Oh,
like
wow.
all the like the obviously the invisible portion and the non-invisible portion, and then like Reed comes with like a whole base to swap out with his legs to like wrap around somebody. Like essentially like steal from Marvel Select Legends
Hell
team.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
very much
because
like
they're
this.
not using it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like it, like the Dio effect piece thing is like, and that on top of that, it is uh like I said, it would prevent, in my eyes, potential just like waste of like everyone has like a bin of like bath pieces that they're not fucking using, and
Yeah.
that's always been a joke in the community of like show me your bath abomination where you just like put all the pieces that you do have
Hell yeah.
together, and like that's funny and everything, but it does suck that like there's just so many pieces out there that are just like they're not being used for their intended purpose. Where
Yep.
yeah, Joestar's pulling out all their
And it's
unused
funny
bath
that
stuff.
every time someone says that on the internet, you have the same 5 people coming out. It's like, I hate that they did rid of all the bath waves. You only get 2 bath waves a year
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I, I know that there's a lot of people who are like, where you essentially are getting one less figure a year, or not a year, but like a wave because they don't have the bath. But again, I just think the bath is just it. it's just a really it's a cool innovative thing they did back in the day that I think just does not translate to now. And on top of
Right.
that, I did see that people are like, why aren't the BAFs big anymore? And it's like, yeah, that's like the whole thing is that not only did you get a whole nother thing, it was a whole nother like essentially like
Massive.
Giant
deluxe.
figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like deluxe or super deluxe, whatever you want to
Dormammu.
call it. Yeah, well, even before that, like of like you could build a Sentinel, build Galactus,
Right.
Fing
Fu
Fang Foom.
Manchu.
Fu
Or
Manchu.
Fu Manchu. I mean, Fing Fang Foom. That's what I meant to say. That's the same. I always mix that. My bad.
No, you're good. But yeah, but that's what I mean. Like that was a different time. That was an absolutely different time. I also need people to
Yeah.
stop asking for them to put comics in releases again, because there's a
We don't need that
specific reason why they were able to do that during the Toy Biz era that they can't do now. It's like, please stop asking to do that. All the people saying like there should be a QR code for like a free Marvel Unlimited a digital copy of the comic, that's smart. That's okay.
Yeah.
But stop
Well,
asking
so-
for an actual physical comic.
I think both Dan and Ryan have spoken to how they can't do that is because the digital platforms that comics are distributed on are, one, not in all regions, and two, aren't the same in all regions. So putting a QR code on there for like Marvel Now or whatever isn't going to fly when you have your figures over like in Australia or something where that service isn't available. And so that gets into like a weird, like, okay, now I'm buying this figure, but I can't get the thing that they sold me, and they're gonna have a different type of complaining happening if they were to do that. So that's why that doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, at least there's again, there's clearly a reason why they don't do X thing, right? Even if it's like very obvious. Like they don't do the physical comic with your figure anymore because Toy Biz used to basically own Marvel. That's why they can't do it anymore, because then you have to coordinate with a completely unrelated company / multiple unrelated companies to do that. It's just
it took them a ton of work to do the Magic the Gathering releases, and that was within the same company.
Oh yeah. It was all in house.
But yeah, so yeah, I think Legends is very much like on a good path, and like I said, with the recent Star Wars stream, I think that there's even more promising stuff out there if things like wired cloth goods are potential. If it's in the quiver, it can be shot. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I got some points that I can rapid fire through.
Go for it.
I said we touch on this both with Star Wars, and then in War Torn you basically said the same thing, but continue releasing figures that feel complete out of the box. So I feel like I'm primarily MCU when it comes to Marvel Legends, and I feel like the Fantastic Four wave was more or less like that. I felt like those, like I was like, I didn't feel like even though I did set this up finally. I did what you did, War Torn. I got my Human Torch on my Dark Phoenix base here. I figured out how to get it in there. But yeah, I felt like those figures were all pretty complete out of the box. So continue releasing complete teams within a short period of time. The first one that comes to mind was the Inhuman stuff. So we got the two packs last year, and then they did the Crystal the year before. I think they've done most of the Inhumans now that people have wanted, I think.
Yeah, the only Inhuman left is Maximus, and the only Inhuman outside of that very quick release window was Karnak, that came out when the Marvels came out. So I don't remember how long ago that was.
But they did re-release him though, right? Recently?
I don't think they did actually.
Oh, they didn't?
But
okay.
Yeah, but it is funny. I was telling Joe started this of like that used to be like a $10 figure, but obviously with the rest of the Inhumans, his price shot back up. So
yeah, but I feel like for the most part they've been pretty good about they've been talking about getting that feedback, and it seems like we're now seeing the execution of them doing that, of releasing the teams. I guess obviously depending on the team, it'll take a couple of years, but continue releasing figures as deluxes, and so this is me trying to manifest Dormammu re-release.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
But
happen.
I need it.
yeah,
It's
I
gonna
think
happen.
the fact that they're slowing down on the baths and making them just deluxes, I'm totally fine with that. And then re-releasing the good baths is also good. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I said for my start section, I said start utilizing more soft goods and wired capes. The fact that most, if not all, of the force wielding and Jedi characters from Black Series are able to have soft goods, and then the fact that Marvel Legends seemingly has slightly more budget to work with their figures, the fact that uh, figures aren't coming like with capes, soft good capes, I think is starting to look bad on Marvel Legends. Especially when it. So I said for at the very least maximum series and made to order figures. So we already got the Mephisto. He comes with the soft goods to switch out for. We've got the rumored Thor Maximum series as the first Max release this year, so presumably he'll have a soft goods cape, hopefully wired as well. And then I said also for MCU releases, I think at this point, those Thor figures look pretty bad with just the straight full length cape just standing there like that. Um,
Hmm.
that being said, the I talked about it last stream, but the Doctor Strange from the 2-pack with Wong, I think that plastic cape looks pretty good. Like it's molded in a real nice swooshy way. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty over the plastic capes at this point. I think they should be doing cloth ones. Um, I said similar to your like dio piecing diorama and like street building sort of comment War Torn. I said start doing vignette pieces like the Black Series. I feel like they kind of do that.
Mm.
So like we get like stuff with motorcycles. We got Kang with his chair. We're getting Mephisto with a throne. So they kind of like honestly they Black Series maybe took a little bit of hinting from what they were doing, but I feel like Marvel Legends could be making better use of those sorts of releases. I said start using a ball socket for shoulder joints more. So Wartorn, I think you and I are on a pretty similar wavelength when it comes to this. So like on the MCU Wolverine and then this Daredevil, there instead of a traditional butterfly joint where it's a separate piece and then the shoulder sits in that and it can only go forward and back. With the ball, when it being a ball, you also get the up and down movement with it as well. This Daredevil probably isn't the best example because of the design. There isn't a really big cutout here to give it a whole lot of range. But like I mentioned earlier, I've been watching reviews for the Street Fighter figures, the Jada, and they do a ball joint in there as well. And I think for comic characters who don't have, who might not have such a detailed design on the torso and can have a bigger cut, um, I think they would really like on a Vulcan body mold or something like that. I think they could really benefit from having the ball joint in the shoulder rather than a traditional just forward and back
That
butterfly.
that's why one of the biggest surprises about that Black Bolt Triton release is the fact that Triton has those. Like that,
Yeah.
Oh, he
like that's
does?
a yeah,
Yeah.
he does have the ball shoulders. So
Oh,
it
okay.
can be done. It can be put on a
Right.
it can be put on a comic figure. So it man, just the arms race of having to like update figures is it just so it's so brutal because I'm just thinking about how like people have been wanting a cap with like the chainmail chest with
Mm.
butterfly shoulders, but now like I just imagine they do that, and then now people want the ball shoulders.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh
well,
man.
now another
Yeah.
excuse to buy Captain America, I guess.
There you go.
but but yeah, I mean, but that's always the game you play with figures is that
Yeah.
there's always a chance that there's going to be a better version that's going to pop up. Yeah.
And then along a similar vein, I said start utilizing double ball torso design. So I feel like that's a Dwight thing for whatever reason. He doesn't want to do a ball at the rib cage and then a ball at the waist. But yeah, after
That-
seeing, I was a little worried about really doing a lot of that, because I know if it's implemented poorly, you get kind of like a diaper look on the figures with the crotch piece. But after looking at a lot of those Jada figures, I'm like, yeah, there's no reason Marvel Legends can't be doing this more.
yeah.
And the
I was
fact
gonna say,
that Black Series, the fact that Black Series beat them to it, as far as I know, like I feel like that's kind of crazy.
I was gonna say, I didn't the new Wolverine have a ball waist?
Oh, does he?
I thought that's
Oh, the Gameverse one.
yeah. I thought that's like how he
Oh.
can crouch the way he can, if
Oh,
I remember
did I
correctly.
miss that one? And I'm 2 for 2 on missing.
I mean, again, it's one of those things where like they're again, it's that thing of like we know they can do it, but obviously something prevents them from doing it like across the board, right? And obviously it's basically going to be due to budget and obviously picking the characters that, you know, quote unquote deserve it. So like Wolverine getting like new tech like that would make sense. But like that's why like for me like Triton getting the new ball shoulders is that's freaking bananas because I'm not saying like he doesn't deserve it, but like the fact that that's the from my knowledge the first comic figure to get that tech is wild. This absolutely wild. But yeah, I like that we're all
does.
That's wild.
Yeah, I do like how we're all frantically searching. Like, it did what I just said was correct, but yeah, that I remember.
I mean,
he
definitely doesn't have an inverted ab crunch, so
right. That's a ball joint. Yeah, that's ball joints.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm high then.
No, but like again, that's locked behind a 2-pack.
Yeah,
it's not like,
and it's a Wolverine specific mold. It's not like a Vulcan or or something.
Yeah, so
if anything, just make it more common.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, I know I feel like the newest bodies are still only a couple years old, and I don't know how often like one should expect. I don't know how often one should expect companies to be like, all right, this is essentially the new Bucky cap, right?
Right. Like we're only just now getting. Like Renew Your Vows is how old? 4 years at this point, I think that figure is, and we're only just now getting a single release retail figure using that mold. So,
yeah. Did you have any more bullet points?
Yeah, those were it for start, and then for stop, real quick, I got stop shipping figures that break out of the box. I feel like that should be a given, but here we are. That's still happening.
Yikes.
And I think that goes hand in hand with stop decreasing the quality of the plastic. I don't think I know a lot of people on like Reddit and YouTube fucking complain about that. I don't think that's all of the figures, but I think that's, especially on something like this, you can tell where like that's a problem.
Yeah. It's one of those things where when your brand gets to a point where people don't buy figures because they're afraid that the plastic is going to be gummy, that sucks.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people skip out and then miss out on that Iceman because they assumed that it was going to be gummy because the last Iceman, not specifically like the last Iceman, because the last Iceman was not translucent, but I think it was the Age of Apocalypse Iceman, like he was gummy, and then that was built on the same body that like the Juggernaut wave Iceman was built on, which was also gummy. So like,
yeah, it's got to be like, it's just it's a figure by figure basis, because like I'm just messing around with my Daredevil here because that's also a really recent figure, and I'm just like trying to move the joints in ways they're not supposed to go, and like I don't feel like this is any worse than a typical figure from like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's definitely a case by case basis, but it's happening. It's still happening enough where it's just like, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I said, stop designing figures with 0 forward torso movement, e.g. the Shriek mold. Please throw that mold out. Never use the Shriek mold ever again. Use the Warbird. Is it Warbird or is it Black Widow that was first?
Oh,
I don't know.
it was Black Widow. It was Black Widow's
Okay,
first.
yeah, that Black Widow. Like, I don't need toe joints on everything, obviously, but like that Black Widow torso should just be default for everything. It's ridiculous. Um, and yeah, just like in general, like aside from Spider-Man figures, like uh, like I can get pretty good back on my Daredevil here, but it's like that no one's ever gonna do that. That doesn't look natural. But then if I go to do, oh, he might be a bad example. Ford Crunch is actually not that bad. But that brings me to my next point. Stop designing torsos that look ugly as hell when bent. Like that, he's got like a really weird like shelf thing going on in the back there, and it's like a really sharp like why like that's just a sculpting thing as far as I know. Like I can't think of an engineering reason why they would
Well,
be
it's to
doing
fit the
this.
shape of the cone of the upper
Right, but like
torso.
again,
Like,
I'll call again point to if you look at those Jada Street Fighter figures, like they don't
right.
like they have really crazy I mean not crazy, not import crazy, but they still have really good torso range forward and back, and they don't have that same aesthetic problem when you're articulating the torso forward and back. So as far as I'm aware, it's just a sculpting thing that for whatever reason they keep doing that. It's pretty bad on the Toby Spider-Man figure from No Way Home. That one's also pretty ugly with the torso crunched if you're looking at it from a
Yeah,
weird
I was
angle.
gonna say that I don't. I truly don't know what it is, but there something about like the Toby costume just doesn't translate to like whatever Legends is doing. Because
Yeah.
well, actually, I wouldn't even say that. I would say like in general, a lot of like the newer versions of the Raimi costume, I don't know, there's something about it like is just not clicking. It like they were able to do it back in the day, but not now. Oof, yeah.
Like why is his back square? Like that's just straight up or like if you consider like down here and up here, like that's just straight up a rectangle for
He needs
his
to
lower
see a
torso.
chiropractor for sure.
It's
I mean,
like why did this happen, you know?
how did we get here?
Yeah, like it's just a weird like sculpting thing. Like the front isn't quite as bad,
Mhm.
but like more often than not,
And-
right, but like I'm not going to have like maybe Andrew Garfield because of the beginning of the movie of the second movie. But like more often than not, I'm not going to have my Spider-Man figures going like this. I am going to have my Spider-Man figures like this though, you know? And so for it to look that way is yeah, it's a bad look for sure.
Oh, I also just want to point out it's funny. I was worried about us potentially not having enough to talk about, and we were 2 hours
Oh
in.
yeah, we got yeah, that's why I'm trying to
we're
go quick here.
yeah,
Um
we're
We
overdone, I think.
yapping for real.
Okay,
Yeah.
my last one is Wartorn. You basically mentioned this as well. Stop using ancient accessories that don't work anymore. So we got those terrible female hands. Also those damn Spider-Man web lines. I feel I don't want to throw them out, but like I have
It-
so many at this point, and they're all completely useless.
yeah, they're so hard to like even work with too.
Right?
Like you really gotta heat that bitch up just to
Yeah.
bend it around. It's like, yeah, no.
And then overall, I gave the line a B. Um, room for improvement, but you know I didn't hate it.
Sorry, I was just laughing again at who gave them an E. Like read the prompt. My God.
Right.
Um, the
Well, as we already know, people can't read. So
yeah, I mean also that. But yeah, um, yeah, I was gonna say, Joe Star, did you
okay.
have anything to add, or that was
You guys
not mentioned?
basically hit the same things that I was thinking. So I'm like, I'm looking at this from like a new perspective, like as a new
Hmm.
collector as well. But at the same time, I've experienced all the problems too.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking at this like, man, this is all right. Like it looks like they're going up though, like nowhere else but up. Hopefully, I'm saying that I'm probably jinxing it watch like this new Space Marine Punisher look like doo doo or whatever.
I
But
was like, Space Marine Punisher. Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, the
Uh,
giant mech of a Punisher.
I think
um,
it also helps that compared to like 2022 and 2023, they have slowed down on releases. There are fewer releases throughout the year, and so that has allowed them to really focus up
I
and
will
release more
say,
bangers.
I am slightly worried. I'll just switch over to the slide real quick since it's
Oh
somewhat
well,
related.
real quick though,
Oh,
it's funny. Star Wars one didn't have this problem, but you have the oxymoron here of the recap of start and stop, where people don't understand how businesses work, and these being unachievable goals of improving the value and stop raising prices. And it's like, well, pick one.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, like this is very much just like vibes based off of people who potentially are not keeping track of what toy industry how the toy industry works. So yeah, there's going to be people like, stop raising prices. Like, well, if you have a fuckhead who is currently president and you do things to make the economic situation for the entire world bad, yeah, I unfortunately prices are
In
going
a
to go
board
up.
porn, it could get worse here soon.
um, yeah, uh, but so people are gonna have to just kind of suck it up, and they're as much as I'm. It's not a thing where I'm saying like stop being poor. I'm asking people to you know think critically and understand that they're not doing this out of greed, but out of necessity because other people are being greedy and or stupid or both. Uh, Lots of times it's both. Uh, um,
Especially right now.
yeah. So that's just my thing. Like I understand like a lot of these. Also, a lot of these people are probably if they're not keeping track of what the toy industry is like and how the toy industry works, they definitely don't understand basic economic models and or
Yeah.
international relations either. So
Yeah, if people anyone watching somehow doesn't already know, the toys are typically a low margin product. So like especially with collectors lines, I think it's like around like 5-10%. Um it's not like consumer electronics where, Apple is making hand over fist in margins on everything that they sell.
yeah, that too. And it's also a entire consumer category that is non-necessity. It is something that
Yes.
people do, hopefully for fun. Hopefully, toys are fun for you. I know a lot of people in the community, it's not that, but hopefully you're having fun. But when things economically get difficult, toys are going to suffer because inherently, if it's choosing between a $20 figure and or at this point a $30 figure and I don't know food, please buy the food. I've, I've also seen a lot of people. I don't know if they're joking or what, but just like I had like rice and beans for like the third day in a row because I want to get this figure. Please don't fucking do that. Um,
What if I donate blood? Then I can get both.
oh God.
Or plasma, whatever. Oh, yeah.
Oh
uh,
no.
Hey, but also don't knock rice and beans, man. Rice and beans slaps, if you make it right.
yeah, rice and beans is
Rice
great,
is not beans on toast.
yeah, but at the same time, like yeah, like the toy industry is uh very much vulnerable to a bad economic shit. And so as much as like and we've definitely been in like a action figure renaissance. We've been seeing a lot of huge leaps in figure tech. We've seen huge leaps in just the availability and uh, and just like the talent that's currently in the field right now is very good. And unfortunately, we even saw this past year that something like tariffs can easily derail an entire company to the point where something like Jada, where Jada's still killing it, but the whole thing with Jada is that like you're getting all this value for $25, and now it's not $25. Now it's $29.99, which that is that's way higher than a normal standard fig, even like Hasbro wise. And their bigger and unfortunately their bigger characters were the last things in the SF line to do, and those would have been 30, and now they're 35. Like it is.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I think Big Bad has some of them up for like 40, I want to say. So
yeah, and there's that aspect too. It is awful, and currently we're seeing standard releases kind of flip flop between $27.99 and $29.99 on places like Amazon because of algo driven pricing models as well, which also fucking sucks.
Well, I mean, hopefully GameStop goes out of business here soon, and that'll put an end to that, because I'm pretty sure that's where Amazon is pulling those prices from.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's just that all these retailers are also working on slim margins and trying to survive. And unfortunately too, like if retail partner, I'm also looking at this like stop using exclusives and ways to interrupt team and roster completion. Again, I cannot emphasize enough. Exclusives actually help the team get rosters completed. That like, it is the complete opposite. Like it sucks that is what made it onto the slot onto the report card, because that is just demonstrably not true. We wouldn't have Game Reverse without exclusives, like the MVC Game Reverse. We would not have Shuma Gorath if Amazon didn't foot the bill on Shuma Gorath. We wouldn't have Thanos Psylocke if Target didn't foot the bill for Thanos Psylocke. And I can go on and on about the budget that essentially the MLT team saves by doing this with retail partners, because I can guarantee you the second retail partners no longer do this, you're going to see a lot less stuff out there available.
Way more reuse. We touched on it, like the Black Widow body mold that I want to be default now. We got that because Target paid for it.
Yes. And yeah, that I think the only retailer, honestly, that's not really pulling their weight is Walmart. I can't really think of like the last Walmart exclusive that was just like an absolute banger. But like, yeah, Amazon, Target, as much as like people, they either don't want to support either company, or admittedly, Target really fumbles the ball on releases, especially at the retail level, and Amazon has its algo pricing. Again, without those partner exclusives, you get absolutely less value in the line. You get less stuff, a lot less cool stuff in the line. So honestly, I really hope they just ignore that sentiment. I really do.
Yeah, because it's funny. The way I see it is like, isn't it more hype to get that announcement for that roster completion? Like, is it not more hype to get that? After the fact that you've been waiting for it. You know what I mean? I'm totally fine with like waiting for like a roster completion, because it just makes it more hype. It's just like
Yeah.
it's epic stream moment. So
yeah. So as much as I'm glad that most of the community understands that like the line is good. Like a lot of people are like Marvel Legends are trash, and that's just not true. Like they are like really good bang for your buck figs. Like obviously if you're used to like import quality and expect import things, that's not going to happen with this line. And even with their attempts to mimic that, they they were very hit and miss between the maximums. We'll see what happens with Maximum Thor, Maximum Spidey, and I can't remember what the other maximum is, but that's a good lead into what is 2026 looking like for Marvel Legends. Boom, transitions.
Nailed it.
Oh man. I'm feeling like a lot of 4-inch scale figs are gonna come out of this like new Avengers line. I don't know why, but like my brain is like the
Oh, like for
MCU is
the
gonna
Or
whatever they're calling Epic Heroes now.
yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna go crazy.
I think it's still called Epic Heroes. Oh,
At
what you
least for
might
Star Wars, I think they changed it.
I was gonna say, I did see there was confusion because there is a new kids line that's not Epic
Oh,
Heroes.
okay.
It is like, and it's also super confusing because it is slightly bigger scale. Like it's
Right.
almost imperceptible, but they are different. The
Right.
four I
I
don't
think they're
know if
4.5 inch, I think is what they are.
yeah, I don't know if they're
Oh.
completely replacing Epic Heroes. I really hope they don't do that because that would suck. But I
Okay.
do know that
That
there is another kids line out there, but it's not. It's supposed to be in parallel with
Oh,
Epic
okay. My
Heroes.
understanding it was a replacement. So that's why I
Yeah.
was like, ugh.
Because I think it's supposed. I think those are replacing the like. I don't know what it's called, but it's like they have Hasbro has a line where like you can like do like swappables where like you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
and they yeah and they have Star Wars, Marvel, and Transformers versions of these things. I think those 4.5-inch things. I think they're replacing those, which
Okay.
which to me would make more sense because I feel like those swappable things are very expensive tooling wise, and it would just be easier to just make like a somewhat simpler 4.5-inch fig. It does call into question then what is the 4-inch line for, but I don't know.
Right. There's even more overlap there now, which is weird.
But yeah, I mean the the MCU push this year would be good
It's
for 4-inch
gonna be
figures.
wild.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
as
gonna
long
be
as I get my
insane.
Titan Heroes, as long as I get my Titan Hero Sentinel, I'll be happy as pie. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would not mind more Epic Hero stuff because the Epic Hero Fantastic Four stuff was great, but like I don't know, I don't know. Like I said, I personally I've as much as like there's no hard evidence of this, I very much believe that when MCU was really popping off, when MCU was really popping off, and Marvel Legends was supporting the MCU with figures, the comic side of things tended to be a little bit like it felt like
Yeah.
an afterthought. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's not the case with what looks to be an avalanche of Doomsday Marvel Legends stuff. But
100%.
at the same time, like they've learned a lot, and hopefully we won't see the same mistakes made. I'm for sure. Obviously, there's enough MCU offerings to not do like these mixed comic and MCU waves anymore. So hopefully they understand like MCU is MCU, comic is comic. We're not gonna mix those anymore. But yeah, I in terms of the like actual leak list, we don't have to go through the whole thing, but go ahead and take just like take a swing at like anything in particular that you're excited for. I know for Falcon, it's probably the Doomsday stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you guys I like to keep track of the leak list stuff, just me personally, because it gives me a guiding post on trying to figure out what I'm gonna budget for in the year, and what I'm gonna cut earlier in the year, because I know later in the year we got this and this coming that I know I'm gonna want to get as a higher priority than the stuff coming earlier. So it's helpful for me and from a collecting perspective to keep track of this stuff. But if you want to look at the full leak list, I try to keep an up-to-date list on the Discord server. I only take it from reputable sources, not just rando message board and Reddit lists. And so if you go into our Marvel channel and just type in leak list, you'll find it. But yeah, we still got that. We got that Secret Wars wave that's supposed to still be coming this quarter. It'll be apparently the Daredevil in that wave is, I think, using the Renew Your Vows body as well. And I think that was only previously available in a VHS 2-pack on Pulse.
Yep.
So people will probably be pretty
And
excited for that.
And the 3-pack, the Bullseye Electra 3-pack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that part of Secret Wars?
No. I'm just saying, like, the Daredevil that was used for that VHS was previously used in a 3-pack. And so this will be the first single release Daredevil, and it'll hopefully be like a decent red that would fit.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it's gonna be a bad, like, they pick like a weird shade of red or anything. They're pretty good about that, especially since it is mimicking toy line wise.
Yeah.
That wave is that has a high chance of being like the absolute banger of a wave between that Daredevil. There's supposed to be the regular Spider-Man. A regular Spider-Man by himself. What?
Well, no. So apparently, okay, I'll just go through it. So we got Constrictor, we got Falcon, which was already teased with the Falcon accessory. We got Daredevil, although apparently that's going to be a Pulse exclusive, so people might want to pay attention. That Daredevil might be Pulse exclusive. The Spider-Man is in parentheses symbiote first encounter. So the thought is that it is Spider-Man who is, his suit is partially taken over by symbiote. So basically he's just going to be partially in black. So a very specific sort of look that I don't know if people are going to go for.
I hope that that's wrong. Straight up, I hope that is an incorrect thing, because again, in the original toy line, it was just like a regular Spider-Man, and it would be great if it was just a regular Spider-Man release. But I also would understand if it is that that symbiote like attaching to him thing. What would be really rad, even though I don't think they'd ever do this, would be like if it was like normal torso and head, and then you had swappable
monster
arms
limbs
and legs. Yeah, swappable arms and legs that are like turning black, sick. And then regular. That would be really cool. I don't think they're gonna do that, but it would be really cool if they did.
Yeah. And then we have Absorbing Man, which is, people are theorizing it's just a re-release of the BAF.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it might be.
Yeah, and then we got Magic, in parentheses Dark Child, so I guess a specific look for Magic.
Yeah, that I have that raises red flags for me. I don't know. That would be a really weird thing to do, because one, she's not in Secret Wars, and she was definitely not in the toy line. So that'd be a really weird spot to just like put her.
Right.
But at the same time, I can see it being like Dark Child, as in just like it's just magic, but she has like maybe horns.
Yeah.
Like not like the Marvel Rivals like super demon form magic. It's definitely not going to be that.
Yeah. We have now. I'll blast through MCU here real quick, since it's all more or less in a line here for me. So we're still getting more Deadpool and Wolverine figures this year. We still have the pre-order for what I am calling Maximum MCU Deadpool. We get that at the end of the month. And then we're still getting Elektra. And then we've seen now on multiple leak lists Wolverine Pool and the Cavalrine. So I'm starting to think that those are real.
And nope. Nope, not happening. I'm still gonna be a Calvary hater. In
Okay,
so
yeah, I
much as
mean,
like
fair.
I don't think it's gonna exist. I absolutely do not believe that. I
Yeah.
absolutely do not believe that.
And then yeah, Doomsday it gets real wild because we have Doomsday releases for quarter 2, quarter 3, and potentially quarter 4. So the quarter 2 Doomsday releases are the mostly known stuff, the stuff that wouldn't be a surprise to release before the movie comes out. No, excuse me. So we've got Doom, obviously. We've got Thor, Hawkeye, Sam Cap, Falcon, and Shang-Chi. I'm pretty excited. I'm potentially excited for that Thor because the only Thor I have is Ravager's Thor from the
Oh,
beginning of Love and Thunder. But it looks like at least from the teaser, it kind of looks like his costume is going back to more like an Infinity War / Endgame sort of look. But now it'll be, with all the modern articulation and pinless and all that jazz. So I'm potentially pretty excited for, if not the Marvel Legends version of that, maybe an import with a soft goods cape.
With the
Because
Hawkeye on here, was Renner on the chair? Was Renner in the chair video?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But he's on the list. So
Yeah.
Oh, it
he's
could.
on this leak list.
Does it say specifically?
It doesn't
Clint
say,
Barton?
oh, you're right. It does not say if it's Clinton Barton
Or
or
Haley Steinfeld.
so yeah, whatever
Yeah,
her character
But
name is in the
yeah,
universe.
Kate Bishop.
I
Kate
don't
Bishop.
think
There we go.
I don't think either of them were in the chair video, but
But
Oh,
it would
maybe
make,
that's
but
even
it being
worse.
Kate Bishop actually makes more sense. I never thought of that, and that makes way more sense, considering she is, more recent. I don't think she
yeah.
was in the chair video either, but
Yeah, I mean
that would
Might
make
obviously
just
sense.
there's
be
going to
like a
be
slight cameo.
Yeah,
there's obviously going to be people in the movie that weren't in the chair video, but
yeah.
it's just interesting because I didn't even think about that of a like this would be essentially before the movie. So
Well, I assume that these are going to be all characters that we're gonna. The theory is we're gonna get a trailer for the Super Bowl, which makes sense.
oh yeah, okay.
And these are all of these other than Doom, these are all characters that are already known in the MCU. So it's not really spoilers to a large degree to get figures of them out now in their Avengers looks from the movie, and because they'll probably be in the trailer and all that jazz. Then we have Sam, Cap, and we have Falcon. I blurred it out just to make the image look, but in this pixel art that got leaked out, their costumes look pretty much the same from the fourth movie. So
Yeah, this was
it'll be curious to see if there'll be deluxe releases or they just won't come with their wings. I don't know.
This was a
It was like a
crew
handbag, like a tote
yeah
bag that
as a
was
crew
given out.
as crew merch for
Yeah.
people who worked on Doomsday. They got a canvas bag with basically the entire cast on it.
Yeah. And then Shang-Chi, I'll actually be pretty excited to get a Shang-Chi just without having to modify it, just coming with the 10 rings.
Oh,
I'll
I didn't think
probably
about that.
Yeah, because a lot of people took what is his name, Wing Wu or something like that, his dad,
Yeah.
and they took his forearms and put it on Shang-Chi. But it looks kind of weird because his dad's forearms are a little bit bigger than his. But anyway, yeah, it'll be nice to get one with pinless and all that jazz. Although based on how much Shang-Chi merch is still at my Ollie's, I'm gonna wait for that one to go on sale. I'm not gonna pre-order. I don't feel like I need to pre-order that figure. Quarter 3 is the Fantastic Four quarter, it seems, because was there a quarter on that one? No, I'll get to that later. But yeah, we're getting two packs and then a thing release in quarter 3 for Doomsday. The pixel art on it's also on the Discord server if you guys want to see it for yourselves. I just made it blurred out to just add some intrigue to the image we're looking at on stream here. But their costumes in Avengers, the Fantastic Four costumes, don't look like a big departure from what they had in the movie. So it'll be interesting to see. So we got Thing. Presumably that's just him with a shirt and shoes, which we talked about last time. We are anti-shirt and shoes for Thing in these parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I know people want
Red
him.
trunks.
And hopefully, even if he's not looking like this in the Avengers, hopefully, I know a lot of people want it. Hopefully, they do right by collectors, and there's an alternate head in there with him with a beard. That would be nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're getting an Invisible Woman and Human Torch 2-pack. Invisible Woman seems to have some sort of jacket, and then Human Torch, he has like a track jacket. And while I am not anti-track jacket, I am in fact very pro track jacket. I already have, like I showed earlier, I already got this Human Torch here. I got him on a cool fire base. I feel like, especially if it's just a normal Human Torch, not powered up, I feel like the only thing that would get me interested in the Human Torch is if they actually had like some sort of flight base that is specifically for that character. That would get me interested in that release. Similarly with Invisible Woman, I have the first release. I was able to get it for retail. There was a quick little restock on Amazon. I still have it sealed though to wait to see what they do for this. If it's somehow in clear plastic or maybe like partially in clear plastic, like her limbs or something, I would be interested in Invisible Woman in that case. But otherwise, if it's just her in plain clothes again, I can't see why I would care. I think the Mr. Fantastic and Herbie 2-pack is the most interesting out of the possibilities. I feel like Herbie is not enough for it to justify a 2-pack, so I assume that this is also going to come with a Franklin figure, whether that's a baby or a toddler remains to be seen, but I assume it'll also have Franklin. And I did quite like Herbie, so it'd be cool to have him on the shelf.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, I don't know if I'm coping myself here or something, but there's something very potentially interesting they could do with Mr. Fantastic in this 2-pack. So in the pixel art, it looks like he just has a lab coat on. The lab coat has a collar on it, but it's very obviously a lab coat. And Mr. Fantastic, being the scientist, is often depicted with a lab coat. But here's where I think they could really get people to double dip, and I would definitely be one of them. So you use the original base body from the first release. And so you have the lab coats. Now you need to put new arms on him. You need to put lab coat arms and then the plastic lab coat overlay. But with this version of Mr. Fantastic, this release, you instead give him swappable legs. So you give him bendy legs.
Ooh.
And because he's using the same base body and torso as the original release, the arms still come out. So if you have both figures, this is just my theory, this is conjecture, but I hope they do this. I feel like this is the bare minimum of what would need to be done to make people happy and double dip. You're still able to take the lab coat arms off, you take the plastic overlay off, you put in the arms from the first release, and so now you have an MCU Mr. Fantastic with bendy arms and bendy legs.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and it's like I think you're gonna go into essentially what I'm thinking of. Like, Herbie is not enough. There's clearly gonna be other stuff in here. It would be also awesome if they added like different bendy arms in here. I could definitely see that.
Like I said, I feel like that's the bare minimum to get people to double dip is the bendy legs, and then you can take the arms from the first release, put them on. Obviously, a complete package would be better if they. That would be cool if you had the choice. If you get lab coat arms that are bendy, that would look kind of weird, but like it would be cool. Like if you're gonna include bendy arms for this release, put the lab coat like halfway down or something on it. And if you want, you could put the first release arms on it instead. But yeah, I feel like bare minimum, at least doing swap out legs would be cool.
Yeah, bendy legs for sure. Bendy arms, potentially bendy weapon arms.
Okay,
bendy,
yeah, like
ben-
for like
yeah.
the hands or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, bendy neck. As much as I personally don't really want that, but like
yeah, because there's that older figure where like he like the torso and everything. I'm not expecting them to go that far, and I don't necessarily want it. But yeah.
Yeah, but
remember that one Mr. Fantastic that I saw a post. Somebody put a rubber glove in it. It looked it looked really bad. It looked like,
Uh-huh.
an adult toy.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Oh."
yeah, include a bouncy ball that just has Pedro Pascal's
Oh,
face
yeah.
on it.
Yeah, that'll be
And then
that'll be
I'll
pretty
skip it.
solid.
I'll skip ahead. We didn't. This was from a display model behavior leak, so it wasn't from the other leak. I don't know how much you want to talk about War Torn, but those images that we got, that's where I'm getting these quarters from.
Yeah.
But display model behavior, and I think the China release, which is the random Chinese release that is becoming more and more legit as time goes on, which is wild. They have these, but yeah, for Doomsday, presumably Q4 has all of the X-Men characters. So we're getting Cyclops, Gambit, Beast, Nightcrawler, and Mystique. And I think those are all on the tote bag as well. So, and then, yeah, they're all on the tote bag. So those aren't, none of those are a surprise. We've got a Bath Wave in Q2, which includes a Lady Deadpool, a Psylocke that is presumably going to reuse the Gamerverse body.
Yeah, might not need to custom that X-Force Psylocke.
Yeah,
Joestar.
so
that can definitely be an X-Force Psylocke.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll get people excited.
Did we lose Joestar?
No,
okay.
no.
Okay. No, you were just extremely still.
I was zoned in. I was like,
He's like, okay, yeah, let me add that to the list too. Yeah. Q2, we're getting Maximum Thor. We're getting a couple roleplay items. Cyclops' visor is one of them, so that could be cool. We're getting, I think these are Pulse exclusive, a 2-pack of MCU Muse and Bullseye from Daredevil. This is interesting. An Iron Man 3-pack, in parentheses, raw model to finished product. So I assume that's going to be somehow to demonstrate the production process. And so they have one figure that looks like it's just 3D printed gray plastic. I assume it'll still be like actually plastic molded. And then one that looks like maybe like a paint sample, and one looks like a final product, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of when I read that.
Oh, yeah. I imagine it was gonna do a see-through like blue hologram one, and
then like an exoskeleton, and then like a
that's what I imagined.
Okay.
Either way, what a weird potential 3-pack, but
yeah,
Iron Man collectors would like it. I can see why.
Yeah, that'd be cool if maybe came with like a Hall of Armor.
Yeah. we knew exactly at the same time. We all thought that.
Like, okay, how do you sweeten this deal?
That's the only way I would buy that. That's the only way. And then I would try to pawn off those figures.
I'll skip down to we got the Marvel Rivals Caps mini capsule. So we're getting a Punisher single release, a Moon Knight single release. We're getting a Spider-Man and Luna Snow 2-pack. That one's gonna sell out. And then we're getting a Venom and Jeff the Landshark 2-pack, which is definitely a hostage 2-pack.
Yeah. Depending on how good the Blockies Jeff is. Well, no, that's not true. I'm definitely gonna get the Blockies Jeff. I think I'm gonna skip this hostage pack for sure. I don't need another Venom. Even though I'm sure they're gonna do the whole like tentacle thing, like I said, like they're gonna use that King in Black
new torso,
torso, yeah. But yeah, Luna Snow being with Spider-Man is unfortunate, but sacrifices must be made. I'll buy another Spider-Man to get a Luna Snow. Fine.
It sucks too because, I mean, granted, I haven't played Marvel Rivals yet, even though I have it downloaded, and every time I open Steam, I let it update.
But I'm like, huge file, dude.
Dude, I do not like the Spider-Man suit in that game, the default one. I
No,
don't like it.
no one really does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just
it's
like
not
I know
great.
everyone's hype you know, slash simping for Luna So, but I'm just like
Oh,
and
oh,
I think the character design is cool, but I'm like, do I want that 2-pack? I don't care for that Spider-Man.
real quick, my it doesn't say whether this is these are deluxes, right? The Punisher and Moon Knight.
No, it doesn't, but I would assume at least the Punisher is.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna do wired cloth goods, I think this Moon
Ooh.
Knight is gonna get it. I think it's gonna
Okay.
get it because
Okay.
because in the game he has a glide feature,
Yeah.
so I can see either like plastic
Watch them
tape.
just do like a swap out and you just get this massive plastic fan in the box.
Oh my gosh.
That would suck. That would really be bad. But I can also see that. But I do think it's going to be either a neutral plastic cape or neutral cloth goods with a wired cape that can
Okay.
do the glide. That heard it here first. That is my theory, because Punisher has to come with his ult rig.
I was
So,
just thinking
Right.
that. The turret, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, or the turret, just like straight up the turret. too.
Yeah.
What would be really
Go
cool
crazy.
is if you could take apart the turret and it turns into the ult pack.
Into the ult. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes. That would make
So
it so so worth.
that is definitely not
So worth.
happening, but that would be really
would
cool.
definitely that would really overshadow the Punisher Hulkbuster release if they did that.
Oh yeah.
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 Anyway, Comic
real
Doctor Doom.
real quick, wrapping up MCU. The only other MCU movie this year is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. So we're getting Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk. Spoilers, if you somehow haven't heard about that already.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man is probably going to be mostly reused from the final swing suit. I mean, technically there are differences on that suit, and hopefully they implement them on the new figure. Either way, I have the final swing suit already. And if I were to get a new version of that, I would just wait for an import. So surprising pass for me there. Probably same thing for Punisher. Hopefully Hulk though is finally a good Savage Hulk. Although I've heard some rumors recently he might be like a Gray Hulk sort of situation.
God.
Right, which would be very dumb. I hope they don't do that. I hope it's just normal. Well,
It's
like
be my third gray.
not
Hulk.
normal, because there are I won't go into the plot rumors as to how Savage Hulk ends up happening in this movie, but hopefully it's just like the figure just ends up being just reuse the Red Hulk body, give him new pants, and then new heads,
Just
and
make
done.
him angry.
Yeah,
Just make
just
him
make him
angry.
like I would buy that at full price all day, every day.
Just make him angry.
Yeah. Apparently a hard feat to make a normal Hulk pig. That's good.
Right.
Right.
Challenge impossible.
There is another. We're writing the Fantastic Four wave, both literally and figuratively. Recently, we're supposed to be getting new Future Foundation figures,
Ooh.
and so that'll be Spider-Man, The Thing, Invisible Woman, and Mr. Fantastic.
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
As a
very
wave is
tempted.
interesting, and not.
Yeah,
a
I don't know if it's a.
multi-pack.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the full wave or it's just going to be like a mini capsule fan
Yeah.
channel sort of release, or if there's like if it's going to be a full wave and there's like one or two missing figures that still haven't been leaked.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they didn't do. I always had the idea of like they should just that they could make the Future Foundation 2-packs and make both the white version of the costume and the black version of the costume as like one thing. I know
Right.
that would be like freaking awful for some people, but I think some people would be really down with that too.
I would think that the only thing stopping that from happening is likely the mold already being in use for one figure, and so then having to immediately turn around and do it for the opposite colorway, it probably slows down the process enough that they don't want to do that. But I am tempted. I'm still waiting to go on sale enough that I buy it. But I kind of want to get a Fantastic Four Johnny Storm, just the powered down version, and then get a Spider-Man head to put on it.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'll be
that's right.
and
so
and
sick.
so this I was thinking about trying to get the Magic the Gathering anti-venom head from last year, but obviously Future Foundation Spider-Man head would be even better to put on that. So yeah, that's a cool kit bash idea I had. Speaking of Spider-Man, we were apparently supposed to be getting Christmas Spider-Man.
Yep. The elusive Christmas
Hopefully,
Spider-Man.
yeah, hopefully that's good because that sounds like something dumb that I would buy. All right, real quick, last two lists here. We got that people will probably be interested in. We've got X-Men 97 Wave 4. So if you don't want spoilers for season 2, but we've got finally a new Beast. We're getting a deluxe Beast release. I know a lot of people have been wanting because that the last retro Carter one has been really hard to get. So another Beast I would assume it's probably just going to be that same figure with just different heads.
Yep.
I
We're getting
definitely need it.
a Gambit figure, which some people are hypothesizing that it's a Four Horsemen version of Gambit, considering what happened in the first season. A Cyclops, a Jean Grey, a Rogue, presumably from their looks there at the end of the season, and then also a Havoc and Polaris, which will be new characters in the next season.
Not
And then
bad.
real quick, we got another Magic the Gathering wave.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Potentially the last wave, since Ryan isn't there anymore. I don't know if these are selling well enough for them to want to put in the effort to do them more, but we're getting Captain America, Doom 2099, Sue Storm, and Black Panther.
Oh my god. Oh my god, War Toad. My wallet. I feel it. It burns. Ah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna buy them all.
yeah, we'll see how
And
good they are first.
that's just what
right.
Yeah.
Make sure it's not battle damage Spidey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, man. R.I.P. battle
Unless the
damage
cards
Spidey.
are good. Unless the cards are good.
I'd buy it. Yeah, that's the thing though with me. I'm in both hobbies, so yeah, I kind of have
That's
to.
fair.
Oh,
But yeah, we
man.
don't it'll be interesting to see. There's no, at least as of what has been leaked so far, there was no second Spider-Man wave for the year, so it'll be interesting to see if those brand new day products, that's not a full wave, but is that their, second half of the year Spider-Man release, or is there maybe another Spider-Man wave later in the year? Some people, myself included, I would think that this being a bit of an off year for Spider-Man, maybe do a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man wave, that TV show, because they also have season 2 coming out this year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Onslaught Deluxe? Is that supposed to be 97? Like
No, my understanding is that's just a re-release of the Build-A-Figure,
okay, cool.
and he's supposed to be.
That's
I think he's gonna be on an oversized retro card.
interesting.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
solid.
because he was on the Iceman. That was on a retro card,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's right.
They had that
That's
image
right.
in the corner that had a
Yeah.
couple, and Onslaught was one of them.
Not Iceman. Emma. It's on the Emma
Yes,
card.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So Onslaught, and then there's gonna be a Cipher also that will potentially come with. Well, actually, no, they wouldn't have to do the two heads with Cipher. They could probably just do Cannonball later. But yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about that. That is on the retro card, isn't it? Because I know there's people who are thinking it might be on the 97 one. I also I thought that the Polaris Havoc was supposed to be a 2-pack, but
I think at one point, I maybe display model behavior had conjecture that it would be a 2-pack.
Yeah.
But like the list of figures makes sense for it just being Beast is a deluxe, and then the rest is just the 6-figure wave. I think is what it works out to be.
Yeah, that it would make sense to do that. Unless there's two figures that we don't know about that are in there. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Yep. Honestly, I could also see Gambit, Rogue, Cyclops, Gene, Havoc, Polaris to make them all 2-packs. Because they also just kind of
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's for sure happening. I'm just saying
No,
I
because
could see it.
they'll want just a normal single release, one of their 2 single release waves.
Yeah, that's true.
For X-Men of the year.
Also, don't forget to cross out Abomination for the the Hulk wave, because
He got revealed. You're right.
Yeah,
Forgot about him.
and basically, Smart Hulk is all but revealed.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Smart Hulk's confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically all but confirmed. But yeah,
I'm cooked MCU wise. That's for sure.
yep.
Oh yeah.
I am glad I am not seeing too much on here.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
far.
thankfully, like, because like comic wise, I really only do Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. And it seems like we're probably not getting a whole lot on that front this year. I already got 2099 from the first half of the wave, first half of the year wave. That's all I cared about from that. Hopefully they don't do a friendly neighborhood wave because I would want to get some of those. Definitely a Norman Osborn, because a Norman Osborn on the Matt Murdock suited body would be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to get all those MCU X-Men, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of year left, even with all those releases. I feel like there's still plenty that they can reveal, and I don't think it will happen by the time next. Yeah, definitely not by the time the next time we stream. But February is when we're supposed to get a Legend stream next, so we'll know more.
Yeah, it'll
by
probably
then.
be if we stream on the 26th. Obviously, not then. I would. Yeah, the 9th is maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think that is pretty much it for the stream. Yeah, definitely it will be down as the stream with the least slides with the longest runtime.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. We
Professional yappers.
Yeah. We're getting the hang of this. We just have to like cut for time now.
Yeah. And I don't have any War Torn is watching stuff right now because I feel like between holidays and being sick, I didn't really watch or retain too much stuff. I will say though, apparently Yu-Gi-Oh! Official has like most of the show up on YouTube, so I've just been having that on the background, and it's wild, kind of reliving like OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Very much spurred by the fact of that new mod that that one guy made for the Dragon Ball tag game. I don't know if you saw that.
What?
Yeah,
that one was sick.
I watched Maximilian Dude. He did a stream testing it, and the creator went on and was asking. He was asking him questions. He was answering them, and apparently the Yugi and Dark Magician model are from that Shonen. Is it Jump
Shonen
Star?
Jump? Jump Stars.
Yeah. It's from that game, and they basically flattened the model to work in the Dragon Ball game.
2D space.
Okay. Yeah. So and Max was like, it's like, guys, that's super impressive. Like that, like that is like actual developer level skill, and like the mod itself, like just from the demonstration video, is gorgeous. So, but that really had me thinking about like OG Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was watching episodes, and I don't know, it still pretty much holds up. like and both the Yu-Gi-Oh official and another place called Anime Vault. I don't know um, how they're able to have like full episodes up or whatever, but they both do like dual compilations where they cut out filler. So it's basically like just them playing. So that's like pretty
Oh,
rad as
okay.
well. So I watched a whole bunch of uh Duelist Kingdom and Battle City,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, it was pretty hype. I remember I was like, it's probably gonna be kind of boring because there's a lot of like just like waste turns where it's just them talking or whatnot. And then the one duel I watched, it's very much like they're trying to turn to kill the opponent and just like, oh
Hell
damn,
yeah.
all right, this
It's
is
on
actually like
site.
yeah, this is very much like how like Yu-Gi-Oh meta is now, but just more obviously it's less
Ooh.
complicated. Turn to
Yeah,
kill is still real.
I
Oh,
rewatched
man.
the whole original series. Oh, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point, and I watched it on the Yu-Gi-Oh website because they had all of them on there.
Oh,
But
man.
thank God they had the option where you could speed it up. I think I watched it on like 1.5x speed.
Yeah, it
Um,
is very necessary. There is a lot of shit
yeah,
talking as well.
but if you're a
Yeah.
real fan and you need the short and condensed version, obviously you just watch Yu-Gi-Oh the abridged series.
Oh, yeah. The best abridged.
But yeah,
My hair gives me super strength.
yeah. Hopefully, in our next stream, I can do a War Torns watching, do some recommendations. I also have not been like watching any like TV shows or movies all that much, so
Gotta
and it's
watch
also a
that
very
Samurai Troopers.
it's a, yes, I did. Yeah, we talked about that briefly, and yeah, it definitely. I'm my interest is peaked, though I'm not really. I don't know how I feel about the super violence yet. I tend to not like shows like
Yeah.
that, but like if it's serving a purpose, like maybe it'll work for me. Right now, it's very football minded around here. Obviously,
Yep.
like to say the least, in the Chicagoland area, we're experiencing something that has not happened in a long time, and
Hope.
so we're
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
we're very hype right now around here in Bears country, and as much as I'm not fool enough to be like we're going to the Super Bowl or let alone win the Super Bowl, but I think it is a testament to like the team being like actually good. I know like there's a lot of people who are like, we're frauds, we had an easy season, XYZ, but at the same time though, yeah, that we're still there. The team is still there. So clearly this something's working, and even if it's not this year the team is Super Bowl bound, it will the team will be very competitive with years to come with more experience. Like this is a second year QB, and like his stats are like actually like pretty decent, as much as like people are like, he's not a 4K QB, which is like whatever. He's pretty close. Anyway,
What's his
that's
Madden rating?
yeah. I'm not gonna go way into it because I'm also not like super knowledgeable. I very much have through osmosis absorbed a lot of my football knowledge from friends who are very into football and are very serious about their fantasy leagues. So I
Oh
know
God.
that's how I know about football. And obviously, it's you can't swing a dead cat around here without like seeing the hype in real life. Like truly have not. I don't remember the last time like you would like walk around and see people in like jerseys and stuff, even outside of like game day. So it's truly a special time, and obviously if you look at the history of the area and looking at the history of the team has not been good historically for a while. So for if you know a Bears fan in your life, make sure they're okay, because those fourth quarter those fourth quarter heart attacks are real. But yeah, it's an exciting time, but also in terms of like the toy industry. We're probably not going to see a lot until Toy Fair, and I know Toy Fair is also next month. So we'll probably try to figure out a some kind of like what we're looking forward to or what we'd like to see, or maybe something will happen in the next 2 weeks that will spur like a full topic. But also, this was supposed to be a slow week, and we are at like 3 hours for stream time, so there's also that.
I think almost 3 hours 30 now.
5-star runtime, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but is there anything that anyone wanted to plug other than like, you know, all our socials are always in the description. All the toy folks that we recommend are always in the description. All the smaller toy retailers like Frogman's Finds are in the description always. But is there anything else folks wanted to point out before we sign off?
No, I've yapped enough today.
All right, awesome. Well, if you're still here or whenever you're watching this, we thank you for giving us time. Have a good night. Goodbye.